jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. The first in the building. M-I-K-E on deck. Salute to you, man. What's good with it? Salute WCS in the chat, fam. You already know. And shout out to the others who are on their way en route to check out and support WCS. Once again, you read it. Part 4. I have to stay active on this because I'm trying to motivate, encourage, get people committed to getting this young lion on track. I'm trying to put it out there and hold them accountable, y'all. That's what I'm doing. Terence Crawford give blunt solution to make Jaron Ennis fight. His team speaks out on the haters. I want you all to basically, just understand that this is still an active topic out here. There might be some individuals that don't want to hear it anymore. That's okay. I always tell you, you have options, just like I do. I have the option whether to talk about it or not talk about it. You have the option to listen or don't listen. I mean, it's that simple. Why be mad about it? I'm trying to help. I'm trying to assist. You know what I'm saying? So let's get down to it. And please, those of you that may pop in the chat, please don't be ill-tempered. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about how can we make this fight happen. So let's take a look at the energy that is going on towards Team Crawford over there after he has pretty much solidified himself as the best fighter, one of the best fighters this era. Therefore, proving it in the ring against another pound-for-pound fighter. I love the naysayers. I love the energy that they still giving Team Crawford, because when it's all said and done, people, listen to me. When it's all said and done, you can't change it. You can't change it. So let me put this up here right quick. This sound bite will be from Bernie the Boxer. And I have to put this up there because people, I'm not saying him, but people be, reporting your stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want to put this up here prior to, you know what I'm saying? So it won't be no problem. Okay, let's get to the audio. This is some very productive audio that came from Bernie the Boxer. And also I have some tweets, some updated tweets from Crawford that tells me a lot about how far Team Ennis is. You know what I'm saying? That may help Ennis, Team Ennis, get an icebreaker. Yeah, this is one of those icebreakers that's almost like putting a blowtorch to, a sheet of ice. You know what I'm saying? That hole gonna go right through that bitch. It's gonna melt the fuck out of it. This the icebreaker I need, especially when we talking about, Crawford Ennis. You know what I'm saying? We need something that's hot. You know what I'm saying? You put grease in a pot and put a torch on the bottom of it, it's gonna start to bubble. Just pay attention, listen in. Once again, this is Bernie the Boxer in a segment that he did earlier, and him addressing the situation.
Sell your soul to Canelo, then fight and boost for Undisputed? Our soul? You bitch ass motherfucker, when we beat his ass, you gonna say that then? When you say that, we gonna say that then? Your bitch ass didn't tell Boost to do that when he was WBO, motherfucker. I didn't hear your bitch ass in my comments when we said that. I didn't hear you say that when he put him on the phone, punk motherfucker. Did you hear that? You didn't say nothing then? Huh? You want to go watch the show? Go watch the show then, nigga. Go watch the show. You go ask Boots then, motherfucker. Go ask him. Go get in his inbox and ask him why he didn't take WO. Huh? Did none of his folks jump on here? I'm talking about his people. His daddy said he didn't want it. Come on. His daddy said he didn't want it. Motherfucker. He had the chance. He didn't want it. He was trying to take like he was doing the Devin Haney Ray. He wanted to take where he thought it was good at. Where he had his best chances. Was Earl Spence. And now his bitch ass just got the belt. You happy for him. Motherfucker, you know where he got that belt from? He didn't get it from Crawford Waste because he's still the champion. He got it out the Cracker Jack box. He got it out the Cracker Jack box. He put it up there with the rest of them bullshit belts. Why they give him 2 interim belts?
As you can see, Bernie is full of energy. He's on tilt right now. And what he's putting out there to the public is basically in response to. This is not just something that's random. He's absolutely speaking to them in the same way that they brought the energy to him. He's basically providing them with a clear understanding on how that particular person that they're advocating for, how it comes down to making these negotiations a lot difficult. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if he would have took it from Crawford's waist, along with all the other belts, we wouldn't be having this conversation because he would be undisputed, right? I mean, surely he'd be undisputed. But he's making some solid points to this individual who left a comment. You know what I'm saying? He's getting straight to the point. No beating around the bush. He asked him why he didn't stay in the WBO. If you truly wanted to fight, why you didn't stay in the WBO? Listen to what he said, though. Listen to what he said.
Neither. You hear me? Shit. Say it again. Mediocre like a motherfucker. Bum. Both of them. Bum. Shit, they one and the same, if you could say that. You know, they one and the same. That when he was WBO, motherfucker. I didn't. You understand? Hear me? Huh? The guy been a conundrum since a baby. All right. Just a guy says, do it. Hit your soul. Sell your soul to Canelo, then fight and boost for undisputed. Our soul. You bitch ass motherfucker, when we beat his ass, you gonna say that then? When you say that, we gonna say that then? Your bitch ass didn't tell Boost to do that when he was WBO, motherfucker. I didn't hear your bitch ass in my comments when we said that. I didn't hear you say that when he put him on the phone, punk motherfucker. Did you hear that? You didn't say nothing then? Huh? You want to go watch the show? Go watch the show then, nigga. Go watch the show. You go ask Boots then, motherfucker. Go ask him. Go get in his inbox and ask him why he didn't take WO. Huh? Did none of his folks jump on here? I'm talking about his people. His daddy said he didn't want it. Come on. His daddy said he didn't want it. Motherfucker. He had the chance. He didn't want it. He was trying to take like he was doing the Devin Haney Ray. He wanted to take where he thought it was good at. Where he had his best chances.
He said he wanted to, take it where it was good at. Where he had his best chances. Where he thought it was good at. Where he had his best chances. That's absolutely facts. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. What he thought it was good at was to leave the WBO and then jump up the ladder into the rankings of the IBF. He thought it was better there because Errol Spence had the belt. So being that we found out that the mandatories will be grandfathered in, regardless if, let's just say in the fantasy world that Errol Spence beat Crawford that day. He already had 3 of the belts except the WBO. He picked up the WBO, and waiting in line would have been Jaron Ennis, right? So the same thing could have been said if they stayed over to the WBO. But the WBO was around the waist of Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So they gambled, but did they truly gamble? I don't know they was really gambling. I think they saw a clear path and they was listening to the people at the last minute, and they knew Crawford was going to be a dangerous threat to Errol Spence. So they said to themselves, what should we do? You know what I'm saying? Is it a possibility they got together in a huddle You know what I'm saying? Somebody's supposed to be given the play. They say, okay, Terence Crawford going to be a dangerous threat to Errol Spence. But we clearly don't see the fight going out the way people think. We just don't see it. We got Errol Spence. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. I got you. He's going to do it. So he said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make the first move on the checkerboard. They weren't even playing chess now. That's checkers. They moved from the WBO to the IBF because they was hell-bent on believing that Errol Spence is going to get the job done. It didn't happen. So what they do, they go to phase 2. Phase 2 is, I don't care phase. I fucked up. I don't care phase. I want to become a champion by any means necessary. Not the by any means necessary Malcolm X putting the word out there to the people. No, they want to put documentation and paperwork out to the people. They want to send that from point A to B, knowing the shit couldn't be changed. And then when they replied that they was locked into a contractual agreement with Errol Spence for a rematch, what happened? They quickly stripped him of the belt. After all the fighters that we done seen get stripped, all the fighters we done seen get elevated, no one wants to see a fighter get elevated, and it's a lack of respect, not just from the other boxers, their compeers, but it's a freaking lack of respect from the fans and consumers too. You can't say, when I get this title, I'm gonna step on them. It's over. And then when you get the title's just sitting over there. Like you got a champion in your backyard, but his title's in the backyard too. It's almost like the title's in the backyard in the shed. You know what I'm saying? I get it when I need it. I don't have no fight coming up yet. I get it when I need it. Bernie's making some solid points. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to, he's the first line of defense to speak to the naysayers, the ones who are the doubters, the non-believers.
Earl Spence, and now his bitch ass just got the belt. You happy for him. Motherfucker, you know where he got that belt from? He didn't get it from Crawford Waste because he's still the champion. He got it out the Cracker Jack box. He put it up there with the rest of them bullshit belts. Why they give him 2 interim belts? 2 interim belts. What the fuck you need 2 interim belts for? Get the fuck out of here talking about boots. Sell your soul. You hate motherfucker. You was one of them motherfuckers who wanted us to lose too. And we beat it. We dashed your dreams, didn't we? Huh? We dashed your dreams, didn't we? And you think you gonna stop us? Fuck no. Ain't stopping us. No, ain't no stopping us. Huh? He better get his eye right. Huh? You better go tell a boy to get some more nuts and guts. Huh? You better go.
Bernie on fire. Bernie on fire right now. He said some nuts and guts, man. And see the crazy part about that ambiguous statement, they do have 2 meanings. You know what I'm saying? Some guts pretty much deal with nuts, and nuts deal with guts. Because the way it's used, the way people put it out there, you're talking about, would it be considered a euphemism? I don't know. But say, hey, you better get some guts. That means the same thing. You better get some courage. You better get some goddamn balls. You better get some understanding. You better have a moment with self. You better get some nuts. What does that mean? You better get some courage. You better get some confidence about yourself. The same thing. That's a true statement. Nuts and guts. And look, people are gonna look at this and say he was just on a rant. But he's telling you all the truth about what needs to be done. Yeah, he's saying it in an abrasive manner, but this is boxing. Abrasive shit happened. Just like July 29th, abrasive shit went down, y'all. Abrasive shit went down. Yes, sir. July 29th, abrasive stuff did go down, man. You saw it. You saw it on Errol Spence's face, the way he wore that fight. Period. There was a lot of abrasive things going on. He said, yeah, we dashed your dreams. We dashed your dreams. Hey, I've been on record as saying they dashed a lot of people's dreams. They dashed Errol's dreams on down. It was a lot of dreams that was just shredded. I never know something that's really supposed to be transparent and something that's really a one-on-one to someone's thought process, a dream. You know what I'm saying? It can only be told. You know what I'm saying? You really can't see it. It can only be told by the person. And I'm pretty sure there's been several people who's been telling their dream on how it was a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? How a dream leading up to the fight was everything they ever wished for. But when he stepped through those ropes, the fighter was introduced and the opening bell happened, the nightmare followed.
Ask him that. Ask him that. Huh? Ask him that. Tell him White was always dropping the soap. Motherfucker. White was always dropping the soap. That's what you need to ask him, because that's what he was doing, dropping the soap. Huh? His daddy said it. His daddy said it. No, we didn't want Crawford. We didn't want Crawford. Now look, like I say, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. What Boo's got? What Boo's got? I know. That's silence. That's crickets. Because he ain't got nothing. He got a lot of talent, but he ain't doing shit. Go in circles around him. They counterpunch him. Huh? Come on. Ask him. You think he got better? Fuck no. No, they put him in there with somebody else better they look good against. Vila, who was right there to get hit. Rashidi Ellis was beating his ass the whole fight until he ran out of gas. All right. Now again, but he is number one contender to the throne because ain't nobody there. But like I said, we got bigger fish to fry. You understand? We going for tops. Now ask Boots, why Boots bitch ass ain't go up and fight nobody? He big as fuck. He bigger than Crawford. He's 6'1" or some shit like that. Why he ain't move up and fight nobody?
See, that question, why Boots haven't, moved up to fight anybody as big as he is, I pretty much put it out there that, this is turning into Spence 2.0. It is. It's turning into Spence 2.0. And I put it out there in a way that he's a big fighter in a division that he can potentially grow out of, but struggle to cut weight. And he just want to stay down there to potentially try to maximize what he can with the belts. But he's hoping and wishing that Crawford just vacate the belt sometime soon. You know what I'm saying? Just hoping and wishing that they can just vacate that. If Crawford can just vacate the other 3 belts, just please, man, vacate, please. Then they open it. They think it's going to be a clear shot to the damn pot of gold. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you took away your enforcement, like I always say. You know what I'm saying? You would have been sitting right there, but you wanted to send paperwork. That's not cool, man. The more and more people talk about it, the worse it looks. You know what I'm saying? The worse it looks. You're a champion in the backyard and no one can really brag about it. And once again, I don't even hear the people that's in your backyard, the content creators, really bigging you up, building you up. They're busy still talking about Crawford. Why is he still talking about Crawford? He's in your backyard. No, I'm not talking about YSM Sports. The other guy. You know what I'm saying? Why is Martell still talking about Crawford and not Ennis? It's all about the money, bro. I'm trying to help bring that up. I'm trying to help from afar. If I can bring this fight closer together, then I would. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would be a lot better for Terence Crawford? Yeah, is cement another layer to his legacy in becoming 3-time undisputed. But also in the process of becoming 3-time undisputed, there has to be a casualty. It has to be a casualty, y'all. And that casualty is going to be over there in Philly, man. Like I said before, you clearly aren't ready. You know what I'm saying? Your peoples know that Crawford is a dangerous fight. It's good when you're not signed up to fight him. You can talk all the shit you want when he was fighting Albanesian. You can talk all the shit you want when he was fighting Errol Spence. But you very hesitant talking that shit after he fought Errol Spence. You could talk all this shit before, but after, the whole tone changes. I can understand why Bernie feeling some type of way. That's, why he got the flamethrowers out. Dual flamethrowers.
Because he was waiting on Spence to hand him the title. That's what they did. Cameron Duncan, that's what they did. They already said it. I read that years ago. They waiting on him to relinquish the title. And we ain't gonna fight nobody for it. Boots still ain't got no fight set up. He ain't got the 30th motherfucker to fight for the title. He ain't got the 30th motherfucker to fight for the title. Where Boots at? All right. Okay.
See, when you hear it, It does sound bad. It looks bad. It sounds bad. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to suppress being real and raw about it. It's no way to suppress that shit. It looks bad. You know what I'm saying? You was waiting for Errol Spence to win the titles and then vacate them, and then somehow, some way, you get your elevation. That's just bad, man. Because everybody knew Errol Spence. If he would have won those titles, he would have goddamn moved up to 154. That was the plan, right? That was the plan, to go ahead and get out of the division, because you say you've been in the division too long. Now I see Ennis doing the same exact thing. Even though he's 26 years old, he's much younger. That don't mean anything. Like I told you before, Xander Zayas is young. He found himself being too big for the division. He didn't stand around. They made a conscious and productive, conducive, professional decision to move up to 154, goddammit. They did it. Jahad Tucker missed weight. Hey, I'm too big for 147 now. Health-wise, it's better for me to move up to 154. It's better to move up to 154. That's what's better. It's better to move up to 154. But it seems like y'all trying to basically do what Devin Haney did. You want to do what Teofimo did. You want to be able to try to collect the titles and just basically make the sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you're too big to the division, you want to stay down there and hope and pray you continue to cut weight because you're young and you don't end up like Shakur Stevenson did at 130 and drop the belts on the scale. Or Tank Davis or any other fighter who dropped the belts on the scales. Any way you look at it, you have one belt and you're going to have to fight 3 other people. And that's going to take over a 2-year span. That's not going to be something that's expeditiously handled just because y'all want the freaking trial to become undisputed. The one thing I think at the end of the day that people's not taking consideration either, when you talk about Boots' FICO score, it's really no way to bring that up. There's really no way to increase it without him having a rival. Bud Crawford's not his rival. He already had a rival with Errol Spence. It was supposed to be a rival. It was more so a rival outside the ropes than inside the ropes. That's because, once again, he was like a ghost, man. People seen him out there, they didn't want to really, recognize it and say it actually exists. You know what I'm saying? They seen him out there. No. That can't be true. He was out there. People saw the box wreck, but they didn't want to acknowledge what was on the box wreck. They thought it was paranormal. Seriously, they thought the shit was paranormal. I ain't never seen a bunch of people look at human beings in professional boxing who's been defeated by a boxer in devastating, dominant fashion, and then they look at it and say, no, that's not real. That's not real. It's truth be told, that's not real. That shit ain't real. And then it became all real when the massacre played out. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the producers got paid real nice on that. You know what I'm saying? The T-Mobile Massacre Las Vegas, just something that would be remembered forever and a day. You know what I'm saying? People be calling the T-Mobile Massacre because of who? WCS. I'm the one that deemed the T-Mobile Massacre. It was a massacre, bro. It was a freaking massacre. I have to continue to remind y'all who was there, who was the prime numero uno monster on deck. Should I remind you that was a jab? What the hell? That was a jab that made him turn his head like that to the left. That was a jab. How can you be beating up a pound for pound fighter that they had shoulder to shoulder with you on the pound for pound list, and you go in there and make it seem like, whoever was putting him next, they obviously was not, fit to make those decisions. Someone was either paid off, or they was impaired under a medication that wasn't notated, nor was it required to make a favorable decision to put Errol Spence on the pound for pound list. This was truancy. This was bad. You know what I'm saying? Look at all these pictures. This is a massacre, bro. This is a massacre. Look, when they induct Terence Crawford into the Hall of Fame, he shouldn't have to wear a yellow jacket. He should wear a freaking blood red jacket, bro. The only one of his kind. His hands already casted. His hands already casted. Let me get off this right quick. Let me get back and let y'all take a look at this right here. Okay? There was some tweets that was sent out. There's some communication between Ray Jackson and Terence Crawford. Jackson asks, who you fighting next, man? The people want to see you against Boots next. All right? Crawford responds, I don't know yet. Tell the people that want to see it, put the check up. If not, tell them stop talking about it. So, now let's go to the A-side, B-side type of deal. I heard some people say some uneducated shit talking about Crawford should send Boots a contract. And I'm trying to explain to them that he doesn't want to be out there placing Jaron Ennis at the top of his selection list when that's not the biggest fight. The biggest fight is who he put up here already. He said Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is the biggest fight in boxing right now. Like it or not, it's just facts. So why would he send Jaron Ennis a contract? For what? For what? What's the purpose of that? At this point in his career, you have to treat it as if people was waiting on him to go through the test. You feel me? People was waiting on him to go through the test. He went through the test, even though he had already completed several tests before that. The doubters, the haters, the legends, the vets, whoever you want to call, someone was like, I still Crawford can get it done. They you know, the farther out it was, you know, people just going back and forth. They was undecided. Oh man, I don't know who gonna take this. I don't know. The closer it got to the fight, you know, there was a lot of people that pissed off Spence. You know what I'm saying? Some legends out there was going for Crawford. And Spence didn't like that. So what Spence do? Spence said, F y'all. I don't give a F about the Hall of Fame anyway. That's what he said. Now, I don't know if that's going to come back to hunt him when he gets out the sport, settle down. He out there goddamn kicking some chickens and some goats in their ass, right? And fucking with that donkey over there. And he think to himself, damn, I wonder if they're going to put me in the Hall of Fame. See, he done forgot that he said, F that, I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, all they was doing is just giving their opinion about who they thought would win between the two. So when that night happened and the lights came on and all we saw was blood splatter all over the shit, no special effects, I really wish, you know, Riyadh would have added their own little promo to that moment. I could have, man, it'd be beautiful. I tried to call them up, you know what I'm saying, to see if I can put at least $500 to $1,000 on that shit. I say, hey, can this contribute to the production? Can you add some special effects in there with some real-time freaking footage? I would love to download that on my device. Just let me know. Get back with me, okay? I left my number, never heard nothing back. Terence Crawford saying, I'm not scared, and I most definitely believe in myself, even if no one else does. Well, there are people out here believing, you know what I'm saying? People out here believing that you definitely can go in there and get the job done. They out there. Let me get to the chat right quick. Shout out to everybody that's on deck, man. I'm just going through the names right quick. Ortiz was good. Ortiz, you know, I came to him first because he seems full of energy for Ennis, so I get back to you. Expert Genius, what's good with it? Salute to you, brother. MD Mills, what's good? Salute to you. What's good? What's good? What's good? Hood Sports and Boxing, salute. Arnold Brown on deck, what it do? So, yeah, that sounds good, but I'm not through talking about the number one fighter in the sport right now. That drop the link shit sounds real good, but you're gonna have to wait patiently, okay? You know what I'm saying? You have to wait patiently. Ortiz said people need to stop being fanagers and make the fight with Boots. Boots versus Crawford is a big fight. Now, that information right there, we pretty much heard so many times before. And I don't know what a fanager is. You can be a fan of the sport. Isn't a fan attached to manager? It's fan and a manager? I don't know if it sounds good to you, but do you truly know what that means? I don't think you do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you do. When Boo's name came up, Crawford fans quickly made it. See, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me get to what I was talking about, because I'm not going and giving you all that, and you're not giving me any information that I never heard before. I need something refreshing. You know what I'm saying? I don't need people plotting to come over here to WCS and think you're going to out-talk me. You know what I'm saying? If you have some legitimate educational information for me, besides what we already know, then I'm cool with it. I'm cool to talk about it. But it's not going to be one of those, let me overtalk you. I don't have no problem with you getting off what you're going to say, but I need for it to be a treasure. Okay? Let it be a treasure. That's all. Let it be a treasure. That's all. Not a bowl or a ball of poop that a dung beetle has rolled up from all the other haters and doubters is out there. They want to goddamn roll up the same shit. Literally. They want to roll up the same shit. I've heard all that before. You got to give me something that I never heard. You know what I'm saying? You have to give me something I never heard. Now, I haven't did it in a while, but let me get this off and I'll drop the link. No doubt about it. I would drop the link. Terence Crawford put it out there. He's not scared. And I most definitely believe in myself, even if no one else does. That is, once again, a profound statement from a guy who has convinced people that just because they doubted him, he never doubted himself. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to bet on anybody, you got to do what? You got to bet on yourself. He did that. They was up here just treating him like he didn't exist. The more and more I think about it, right? How can you just overlook a fighter that was so dominant? And then the boxers that he was fighting, a lot of champions, Olympians, undefeated fighters and shit like that. If it was so easy, why haven't anybody else did it? I ask myself this all the time when I'm talking to people. If he became 2-time undisputed, the first to do it, why didn't anyone else do it before him? If it was so easy. Why did Crawford become the third undisputed in the four-belt era on the list with two guys that are considered, you know what I'm saying, legends, the Jermaine Taylor and B-Hops? Why wasn't anybody else up there? After Crawford did it, why did everybody else fall in? It's just like they gave a command down in Paris Island. Fall in. And the recruits came and fell into a platoon formation. And they aligned themselves properly. And then they looked to the front. They stopped moving. Why didn't they fall in? Why did they all fall in after that? Everybody became freaking four-belt undisputed. It was so many people fell in. Is it the change of the times? I don't know. But if it was so easy, why did Crawford become the third? I don't get that. Why wasn't somebody else on the hunt? Why was they not hungry the way it was? That's all I'm asking. They say the man ain't fight nobody. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't gonna be ready for Spence. This and that he can't take. You know what I'm saying? He don't have that much. He don't have the punching power they say he have. He's not as skilled. Only thing he do when he get in trouble, he just want to fight like it's a backyard street brawl and you know, stuff like that. When he actually absolutely have talent, he has a boxing IQ. You know what I'm saying? This is a perfect example where somebody looks at something and they're so biased inside. They refuse to give credit to what the visual is telling them. The visual that you're looking at is telling you. It's exuding. Greatness, right? It's telling you this is a dangerous person. This is, you should really take in consideration. This is going to be a tough challenge. You know what I'm saying? We really should. No, he ain't fought nobody. Who is he fought? Who? Who is he fought? You tell him. Well, he fought Jeff Horn for the title to enter the welterweight. Man, please, man, he ain't fought nobody. What about Pacquiao? Oh, Pacquiao was old. But what about the Pacquiao fight Keith Thurman? Oh, that's a different thing. That's different right there. They didn't want to, man. They paid the price. They paid the price, man. So let me take this down and let me listen and be open-minded to whatever this person says. Now, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, if you don't have anything to say that I haven't heard, it's pointless. I'm not going back and forth about old, stale, retreaded information. I want you to tell me something that makes sense and why Crawford should fight Jaron Ennis. The link has been dropped. I'm looking to be educated. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking to be educated, bro. There you go. There you go. That's for Ortiz only. Period. That's for Ortiz. There you go. The link is there for you. It is waiting. Go ahead. Speak your shit, man.
Yo, bro. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Good.
Yeah, man. Y'all saying that Jaron Ennis don't deserve the fight. To me, is where I get to it is like first he put himself in position of mandatory. That's one. Two, what I'm always hearing is, oh, it's not a big fight. He ain't gonna get a lot of money. It's a bigger fight to the masses. When you have people like Charlemagne asking for it, Stephen A. Smith, Joe Rogan, who's the biggest podcaster, asking for it, it's a pretty huge fight. And right now,
I thought these was your sentiments. You're bringing other people into a situation that you haven't proven as to why it's a big fight. You just saying it's a big fight.
I'm just proving it's a big fight. When you go to media outside of, when you go to
Charlemagne
media
don't know
outside
shit about boxing, Ortiz.
that
Charlemagne, seriously?
that should, but that yeah, Charlemagne exactly. When the people don't know about boxing,
Is that the point you made? Charlemagne
yeah,
don't know shit about no goddamn
Charlemagne.
boxing.
That makes it bigger. When people don't know about boxing, asking for a fight makes it bigger. When it's just a core boxing fan, that means it's more slimmer. But when people are outside the boxing media market, that means it's a big fight. Everybody asking for Boots right now. It's a big fight. He's turning it down. It's a high risk. He looked at it as a high risk, low reward, but he'll still make a lot of money because from that fight.
Hey Ortiz, let me ask you this: did you think Crawford was a high risk
For
when
who?
he fought Errol Spence? Before he fought Errol Spence, did you think that Crawford was a high risk? Did you think he was a high risk going in there fighting Errol Spence?
No, I didn't think, because it was the biggest fight that he could make.
No, we're not talking about. We're not digging into the language and avoiding the reality of it all. Did you think Crawford was a high risk to fight Errol Spence, who had 3 belts? Did you think? I didn't say anything about the fight to make. As a person, as a fighter,
did I think
Bud
yes,
Crawford
he was a high risk to beat Earl Spence? You asking me? Yes.
Why was
but
that?
Was it a high risk? No, because that was the biggest fight on market.
No, why would Crawford be high risk though? He ain't fought nobody. That's you came on here saying y'all. So I'm gonna say y'all too. Because I'm figuring you either an Errol Spence fan, blending over to being a team Ennis. I don't know who you support the most.
That's when you should be thinking. You want me to, how I found out about your channel?
No. Don't get off topic.
No. Listen.
You came on here and you said y'all.
No, I'm
so
not
you
saying,
grouped me.
but I'm not
me.
I've been telling people since 2018, even Spence fans, that Jaron Ennis.
You got to stay on topic, bro. We talking about now.
I'm trying to stay on topic because you saying it is like you telling me like, oh yeah, I sound like that. I was like, no, I've been saying this to Spence fans too. I've been getting on Spence fans because you remember he held on a title for so long when he should have been stripped. He got into the car accident because his ass wanted to get drunk. That's not a boxing injury. I've been getting on Spence fans too.
But people were still putting Spence out there as being a qualified contender because he did have 3 belts and he was undefeated. And he went up there and had that fight with Sean Porter, and then he went up there and scooped up the other ones, from Udenis Ugas. So he scooped up the 3. Kell Brook was a done deal. He went in there and got that, off the Gennady loss or whatever. But
here's what I get on Spence fans about, right?
No, let me ask you this first. Let me ask you this first.
Hold up. What's good, brothers?
What's good? What's good? Let me ask him this right quick, James. I just want to ask you this, Ortiz. What makes Jaron Ennis a high risk for Crawford, though, when Crawford has fought supposedly the best guy at 147, which was Errol Spence? What makes Jaron Ennis a high risk for a guy who beat a pound-for-pound guy? Jaron Ennis ain't been nowhere sniffing the pound-for-pound, dog.
Sometimes all that pound-for-pound and accolades, you put that out the window when somebody's that big and some talent and young. Put that
no opponents on his resume to prove it. The lowest boxing fight code out of the big names, he's a champion, and he got the lowest fight champions.
Who? Villa and them, they tough fighters, but they ain't no big casual name. But
you can't come on here.
Okay. Hold on. When did people start talking about Romain Villa?
Who, Roman Villa?
Yeah, when did people start talking about him?
His first big mat fight was on the tape.
No. You're missing what I'm saying. When did people start talking about him?
Against Rashidi Ellis.
After Rashidi Ellis.
Yeah, after
Rashidi Ellis.
But here's where I go when I question y'all about boxing. Sometimes big names don't mean they not hard fights, bro. That's
true. That is true.
So that's where we coming from, like the Spence and Boots and all that. I've been telling people for a while, styles make fights. Sometimes that accolade stuff gotta get out the building. Oh yeah, he was a pound for pound, this and that. A lot of times that don't matter.
Okay, it just said don't matter. Does his resume matter? Does Jaron Ennis' resume matter though? Does it
Jaron Ennis put himself, he got all right fights, and he put himself in mandatory position. That's what matters.
When Crawford was sitting up there and he had
better resume,
a excellent resume with championships all over the place, they was up here saying he need to fight a common opponent. He ain't proved himself because Errol Spence can beat everybody on his resume.
Like I told people back then, do I agree that Crawford got 3-weight champions? Do I agree with his undisputed being like a hard fight with what's the African dude?
Julius Ndongo.
Julius Ndongo and all them, was they tough fights? No, Hank Lundy, that's my guy and all that. We knew that Crawford was going to win. Only thing I got with Crawford
did he pick up a championship from Hank Lundy? Huh? Did he pick up a championship from Hank Lundy?
No.
Okay, why you mention him then?
No,
because he was talking shit before the fight and got his ass beat.
Man, let me speak. This is with Crawford. Now, I would favor Crawford against a lot of them welterweights. Crawford was most of the time one weight division before the heat. You remember Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson, they was all at 140. The Cons, Tim Bradley. Crawford was at 135 all the time. Every time he went up, they was up. So now he in the hot division with him. Crawford was finally in the hot division.
And you know what happened.
And I said styles-wise, if people would have
No. You said they moved up. But when Crawford moved up to 147, what happened?
This is where you're not listening. I said even though it's about styles, Crawford would have gave a lot of them problems off his style. I don't care about that whole accolades, looking at the opponents, all that shit. I don't care about that. You should
care because everybody cared when Crawford was fighting, leading up to fighting Spence. That's all they talking about, resumes. How you don't matter.
You talking to the other people, you talking to other people that don't be in these gyms and shit.
Okay, now I'm glad you said be in the gyms. Earlier, reason why I got on you was talking about the offer wasn't a real offer. They should have sent, he didn't send a contract. You say you put what, Tucker off in the You was the reason why Tucker sparred Ennis?
Yes.
Okay. Now, reason why I said, okay, that doesn't mean nothing because of what you said earlier about the contract. Do you know how that works?
I know
you
how
you can be off in the gym and all that kind of stuff,
bro.
But do you know how that works?
Yes, I know how it works.
How's
I'm
it
the
work?
reason why a lot of people sign with Heyman, bro.
No, how's it work?
My whole thing is that
No, not your whole
bro,
thing. How does it work?
bro. Let me tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you the whole Black Prime situation.
No, I
All
don't
they
want to
did
hear
was
about the Black
phone
Prime. You said you
calls.
know how it works. How does it work? I don't
Bro,
want to hear about the Black
bro,
Prime.
see,
Explain how it works.
now, what? How contracts work?
Yes, explain that.
Yes, it gets written mainly by the A side promoter or the mandatory position. It gets written up. They come into terms. The A side usually determine the terms.
Okay. First, you get an offer. You get an offer.
Hold up, Green.
Yeah, you get an offer. You accept the offer. Y'all go into negotiation for the terms. Y'all agree to the terms. Like you said with the contract, you agree to terms. Then a contract is signed because the terms are agreed. Now, what you saying that it wasn't a real offer because there was no contract. How can you send a contract if there was no terms agreed upon?
Now you just answer your own questions when people
No,
bro, can you let me talk? Now
Go ahead, Ortiz.
Go ahead.
Now what I'm saying is when people try to say that Boots ducked out the Black Prime, it wasn't no real offer.
There was an offer.
Coming from Boots?
It wasn't. They called, he said, call Espinoza. Espinoza said it wasn't really serious because they was already talking to Bud about even Spence. But and then Black
they had
Prime,
been talking to Bud about Spence. That was the whole reason.
Yes,
it
wasn't
the
no
Spence
real,
thing wasn't the
Black
Spence
Prime
thing wasn't going nowhere.
None
So
of
they
the
sent
fighters
Boots
was
an
on
offer.
Black Prime for a representation as a manager or promoter. That Black Prime fight with Crawford was a one-off.
It was a one-off. But
yes.
they sent the offer to try to make another fight, which Bozy turned down.
Which he said go to Espinoza because he already dealing with Espinoza.
No, loyalty to Showtime.
Loyalty to Showtime. He wasn't signed to Showtime. He just had loyalty to Showtime.
He deal with Espinoza. He just said send to Espinoza. Espinoza said was it serious? They already talking about
because they had loyalty to Showtime. And Espinoza at the time was the president of Showtime. So they had loyalty to Espinoza. You know, you already know how that chain of command works.
But my whole point is,
and they was trying to make a big money fight. So of course he was going to say it wasn't serious.
So my
that
whole
money
point
is,
what y'all saying, what I'm trying to tell y'all is nobody turned down that fight.
Absolutely, they did, man. Come on, Ortiz. What are you talking
about?
Man?
You're not making sense if it's not even really set
man,
on
because Steven Espinoza, just because he said they didn't come with no real substance, the fight wasn't going to be made. They wasn't trying to get that fight with Crawford.
Well, why didn't Espinoza make the fight then?
Bro, why would you make a
the thing is when y'all talk about this situation, right? Okay, BLK Prime, they try to put their nose.
Hold on. Before you say that, ring, there was no counter.
No. What I'm saying is, you know, everybody's saying BLK Prime went to put their nose in the business. You know, Team Ennis said they loyal to Showtime. That's cool. So you got the WBO welterweight champion free with no dance partner. You Espinoza, Jaron Ennis is your fighter. Like, because I seen the interview, you know what I mean? What Spencer Crawford got going on, that don't got nothing to do with Espinoza because Jaron Ennis is your fighter. So you get your fighter that opportunity to fight Terence Crawford. It ain't about if he negotiating with Spence and if Spence and Crawford is still talking or negotiating. Like, your fighter is looking for his opportunity by what his father said. Bozy Ennis in the boxing scene, they want an opportunity. So if you don't want to do it on BOK Prime, then how come Steven Espinoza don't push the button on it and make an offer on Showtime to fight Crawford and make the boost in Crawford Ennis and make the boost in Ennis? The Crawford and Ennis fight.
No, at the time, Green. Hey, I don't mean to cut you off, but at the time, Crawford was in between dropping out negotiations with Spence, and he wanted to fight in 22. So that's when the BS started happening with, people bypassing people's managers and trying to act like they making Ennis and Crawford, at that for that December fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing. Crawford didn't want to go for a whole year and become inactive and not have a fight. So they try to say, Ennis was stepping up to fight Crawford in December 2022. You know what I'm saying?
No. That timeline is wrong. What we talking about is 2023. This is after the Avenesian fight.
Yeah,
and
after the Avenesian fight.
Okay.
This is after the Karen fight.
I mean, because that's the only situation I knew that they was all on the phone
No,
supposedly.
this was
No.
after the Avenesian fight.
It was after Avenesian.
This is afterwards. But what I want to say to the Ortiz guy is, hold
up. I need to, because I don't know why we talking about this anyway, but I just want to find out where y'all are talking about with the Espinosa fight. Didn't they have a meeting when he dropped out of the first negotiation with Spence, and the fight ended up happening for the first fight in July 20?
Say what?
When all of them got on the phone, when everybody got on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to have been, Steven Espinosa, Bozy Ennis, and they supposed to have been talking to BLK Prime to try to get, Ennis to fight Crawford in that December slot where he fought David Avenesian. That's who I thought y'all was talking about. That
never happened for that December slot. It was after they tried to go after the Boots and Crawford.
Yeah, but that was the narrative that they tried because at first
he was fighting Korean Chulikin in January 23.
The narrative from what I know, and the only cause now did they call both. They tried to call Bozy to sign Jaron Ennis before them times when they were signing Broner and all them, but Bozy wasn't doing it. Now you talking about the straight up Crawford and Boots. I'm telling you, as a timeline, somebody there they called after the Avenesian fight. But then Espinosa, that's when Bozy said talk to Espinosa. BLK Prime called Espinosa. He wasn't taking it serious because they was already in negotiations for Bud versus Spence.
Yeah,
that's a bigger money fight.
The first and second negotiation. The first and second negotiation they was in talks with.
They never had before that was the first fight. They never had talks.
So when did Spence fight Yordenis Ugas? Spence fought Yordenis Ugas when?
That was April of 22.
Okay, 22, right? So Spence picks up the WBA belt, right? And the next fight was supposed to be him and Crawford. They went into negotiations that year in 22, right?
Yeah, and it fell through.
It fell through. At the time it fell through, Crawford was busy, wanting to fight in December, and that was one of the reasons that the fight fell out. I could have sworn everything that I listened to was them trying to get Jaron Ennis in that fight for December with BLK Prime.
If you remember, the negotiation was taking so long that Bud even put the offer out there. I'm going to take this $10 million to fight Avenesian in December. Black Prime back then, when they was coming around, they called Jaron Ennis to try to get him on a deal. They never talked about directly them fighting.
Yeah, they tried to get him on a 2-fight deal, but the $10 million was pretty much after everything had been settled that he was fighting David Avenesian, who was already locked in for November. But I get we're on two different timelines. I just know it wouldn't have made no sense for them to talk with Crawford about facing Ennis when they had already been in negotiations first in 2022, and Crawford dropped out of that because they wanted to freaking say he agreed to everything, but they wanted the fight to be in 23. He wanted to fight in 22.
That wasn't never a I'm confused because that was never a negotiation with Ennis. He only had negotiation.
No, he didn't say Ennis. He said Spence.
I didn't say Ennis.
I said Spence. So what happens? He negotiated with Spence. That fell through. He took the Black Prime for only a 1 fight.
Correct.
The fight David Avenesian. So Black Prime, signed. Well, I'm letting you know now after that fight, Black Prime, out of desperation, which that's when they called Boots. And the guy, Blue Blood was the one that set it up for them to call Boots.
Blue Blood didn't set anything up, bro.
Come on, bro. Come on. He didn't set anything up.
No, he was
You
the
know
one
that.
that called first.
No, he didn't set anything up, bro. I'm here to let you know that now, bro. He didn't set anything up.
Well, I'm here to let you know he was the one that called Bozy first and said, "Yo, we got a potential
That's because
Crawford
he
fight."
has most of these fighters and trainers numbers. He didn't
Who is
call on behalf of BOK Prime.
He's the one that called. I'm letting you know he's the one that called BLK Prime first and told him. I mean Bozy first and told him that BLK Prime was going to call him. He's the one that gave BLK Prime, and Bozy linked it up.
call him for what? What they wanted to talk about?
The first one was to try to sign him.
Try to
That
sign
was
him
through
for
Blue
what
Blood.
though? Try to sign him for what?
They
Because
wanted to
people
sign him
was
to a
look.
couple
I'm gonna tell
fight
you what they
deals.
were saying around YTC, that they was believing they was about to make Boots Ennis and Terence Crawford, BLK Prime in Omaha. That's what was floating around here.
That information is false. The first time, I'm telling you, I was there. The first time they reached out was just to talk about a deal. They wasn't talking about no matchup with Crawford. The second time when they called after the Avanesian fight, they directly was about Crawford.
I don't know why they were saying that Crawford could have fought Boots Ennis in place of David Avanesian when they was making fun of David Avanesian's name and all that. They say, oh, well, he could have fought named Boots. He could have fought Boots. Why he
What
didn't
Boots
fight
was
Boots?
saying, what Boots was saying is, you could have chose to fight me or go get to try to fight me instead of picking the number 7. But I get why they picked Avanesian, because Black Prime wouldn't have to deal with another network. He's dealing with an overseas fighter.
Well, they pulled Avanesian out of a previously scheduled fight for him to fight Crawford on December.
Hold on, and on that network thing, I said they
You
had
see what
an
I'm saying?
agreement. He was never Boots was never signed to Showtime, so he could have fought on BOK Prime without Showtime. It's like Bozy said, loyalty.
I don't know why you keep going back and forth like Ortiz. Like, we already covered that he wasn't signed with Showtime, and you just said they didn't want the conflict.
But
how would it have been a conflict with another network, and he wasn't even signed with a network?
My whole point is that's why because at one point he was actually signed with Showtime. I don't know how that deal went up, and they kept on probably doing but he was signed with Showtime.
But him being signed at one time has nothing to do with BLK hitting him up when he wasn't signed. That whole network thing you said goes out the window, because he was not signed to Showtime at that time.
And here's another thing. He just said deal with Showtime. Like, he just said no. Oh, y'all gotta deal with Showtime. That's it. He ain't like, oh yeah, I'm not fighting him, this and that. He didn't say none of that.
So why would he say you got to deal with Showtime if he ain't signed? Just because it's a loyalty thing? But anyway, you still haven't really explained, you know what I'm saying, how Boots is qualified to step in there with Crawford, just based off
why
he got the title. Just the way he got the title.
He was a mandatory position. They gave him the IBF.
Oh, man.
Mandatory for who?
Bro, you just going off.
He was mandatory for
bro. Come on.
That has nothing to do with the WBO.
But y'all saying the same thing with me.
Hold on. The mandatory position has nothing to do with the WBO.
He is under.
No.
Did Crawford win undisputed or what? Not.
This was what we're talking about is before undisputed. You said he was mandatory for the IBF. That has nothing to do with the WBO.
Talking about why he asked me why is Boots right now qualified to fight Bud. I'm asking y'all why he's not, compared to Jose Benavidez, Mean Machine,
no,
and
man,
a lot of people in his
record. Stay on topic, bro. You can't stay on topic. You can't stay on topic. People are overlooking. Look,
why
people? Hey, Ortiz, hold up, genius. Look, Ortiz, check this out. You know, you seem like you've been around to just like a lot of us throughout the entire timeline leading up to the debates that was going on with Crawford Spence. The entire timeline. You're sitting up here telling us what we already know on paper and where he's at and all that. No, I'm trying to ask you to give an honest opinion as a boxing aficionado, if you are that, why he's qualified all of a sudden to get a pass. They didn't give Crawford a pass. He had way more accolades than Ennis. But people up here saying, oh, Ennis should just get the shot. Why, though? You just telling me what's on paper, man.
My whole point is the people who was doing that with Crawford, when people were trying to say Spence, whatever with Crawford, like, oh yeah, Crawford don't deserve a shot, this and that, this and that. I was never the type of person to be like, yo, Crawford don't deserve a shot at Spence or whoever names y'all put in. My whole point, if you put yourself in position and it's a great fight, you deserve a title fight.
Man, deserve, man. Come on, man.
How
That's
don't
just the
deserve a
most.
title fight?
That's the most poor. I mean, that's the worst way you can get a title,
And
by sending paperwork with a dead end request, knowing damn well that Crawford can't entertain him because he's locked into a contract with Spence for a rematch.
and not only that they also came out before this fight even happened, when they was trying to pressure Spence in the IBF, that they was cool to sit back and wait for him to get stripped to get the title.
Who?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Yeah,
Hey, Bozy and Boots.
that's on record.
That's on
No,
record.
if you actually,
That's on record.
Cameron
what's
Duncan,
on-
he did an
what-
interview on Boxing Scene and said they was expecting Spence to move up 254 pounds when he fought Keith Thurman to suffice that WBC mandatory that he had, which they filed a petition to skip the IBF, and they didn't, and Team Ennis didn't say anything about that. That's on the Boxing Scene. They were expecting to get elevated.
I don't know what you talk about on boxing scene, but you remember when Terence Crawford and Spence first fell through? Who put the petition in?
I understand. I'm talking about 2023. I'm talking about the interview that Cameron Duncan did.
They put the petition in for the
on
IBF.
On the
They
boxing
put the
scene.
petition
For the
when-
IBF.
Yeah, Cameron Duncan said after he fought Karen Checkers and got that interim IBF title January 7, 2023, Cameron Duncan did an interview on Boxing Scene after that and said they were expecting Jaron Ennis to be elevated to the full champion because they was expecting Errol Spence to move up and fight Keith Thurman at 154 pounds. That's documented. Anybody can go Google it. And
Yeah,
see
because
that.
everybody was expecting him to move up, but when that shit fell through, they mandated it and they wanted to fight Spence.
No, exactly, but see, here's the thing though. That's the direction that Jaron Ennis took. The IBF title to be elevated because this is the thing. The problem
Because
is
they
this
gave him the
narrative that's
fastest
being
way to a
spent.
mandatory position.
The narrative.
No, it
that's
was not the
being-
fastest way because he was already lined up in the WBO. He
was
chose
number
to go
3
the
in the
IBF
WBO,
route.
bro.
Say what?
He was number 3 in the WBO.
Yes. And the number 1 and number 2 wasn't trying to fight.
Virgil Ortiz, and then they didn't mandatory nothing.
Man,
He got
Virgil Ortiz
turned it down.
He
son.
would have to
Virgil-
wait, bro.
Hold on.
Do you know
Virgil
the
Ortiz and who
scheduling?
else?
If he was still in the
Who had the number 2
WBO
spot?
If
Who
he
has
was
the
still in
number
the
2 spot?
WBO right now, he would still be waiting for a title.
No, bro. Virgil Ortiz, who had the number 2 spot?
Y'all gonna stop talking over me?
I asked
No,
you a question.
just answer the
I got
question.
silent
Just
to let
answer
you
the
answer
question,
the
No,
question.
no, because right now, is they trying to mandate a WBO right now?
Man,
Or what
see,
do you have
skipping
to
the
wait?
question or
I
not, bro?
would like the answer to the question though. Who's the number 2?
I
He
think
gave
it's
you number
Virgil,
1.
and then probably right now Boots.
No,
Was
not
at
probably
time.
right now. Boots was number 3. Virgil was number 1. Who was number 2?
I'm not sure.
This is key. Who was number 2?
I'm not sure.
Then why are we even talking about it then?
I would need to go back. But here's key for you. Did they ever mandate WBO yet? Since, or they mandate IBF fast?
What are you talking about? So champions get mandated in other rankings? When you pick
No,
up the
what I'm
belt?
talking about, if he would have stood at the WBO, he would have still been waiting around to get mandated.
You
Yeah,
don't know that.
because the whole
Yeah,
business
they did.
acronym-
Hold up. I'm gonna answer this question because it just registered. Did they mandate the WBO? Yes,
When?
they did. Virgil Ortiz, he turned it down twice. Then it went over to Alexis Rocha. He turned it down. So
No, he wasn't mandated.
if Boots
It wasn't
was still
mandated
there,
again with
Boots
Alexis
would, well, no,
Rocha.
it wouldn't even went to Alexis Rocha because Boots would have been over him. So what are we talking
Alexis
about?
Rocha wasn't even mandated, bro.
I know he wasn't. He was gonna get the spot. By
Was he
what's that?
mandated, bro? Or he had to take fights, and Bud had 2 voluntary fights, bro.
No,
And then if you read
Virgil
WBO
turned it
rules,
down twice.
then if you read WBO rules, when you go undisputed in WBO, counts as a mandatory, bro.
He's not listening, bro. He's
No,
not.
y'all not listening. I'm giving you gems right now. He would have been waiting around.
No,
No,
you're not giving us gems because
Ennis
bro.
wouldn't have been waiting. He wouldn't have
telling
been
you
waiting
what
around.
happened in
Like he
history,
waited
and you
around.
giving
He
us
would have been
gems.
waiting
He
around.
waited
Don't you
around
dare,
because
hey,
he was told to
don't
wait
you dare,
around.
Ortiz.
Okay,
Don't
hold
you
on,
dare drop
hold
that
on.
gym
He
shit on
he
us.
Okay.
waited around because he was ordered to wait around. Like he wasn't like he
Come
didn't
here
he
talking
didn't
about
he
you
didn't force
dropping
his way.
gems,
He
man.
didn't force
Dropping
his way
gems,
in
bro.
there.
You ain't dropping nothing like okay.
You know what I mean?
When
You
Virgil
can't even stay on
So he
topic,
was waiting around
Ortiz.
hold
order
on, hold
when
on.
IBF
When
banned
Virgil
it
turned it
strict.
down, was
Hey, one
Alexis
at a time, people. One at a time, man.
Okay, when Virgil turned it down, did Alexis Rocha have to just sit there and wait?
But did he get
Did he have to
mandatory?
sit there and wait when Virgil turned it down?
Yeah, that was his highest ranking.
Did he, when Virgil turned it down, before the president let us know that he turned it down twice, when Virgil turned it down, did Alexis Rocha have to sit there and wait like you claiming Boots would have been waiting? Did he have to sit there and wait?
Yes.
For how long?
For a damn while. They didn't mandatory. And then he just lose his recent fight. That's how long?
No, he turned it down.
Did you know when Virgil Ortiz first turned it down, Sean Porter, this how long ago? Sean Porter was the next mandatory up, right? They put that as mandatory.
Yeah. Sean Porter filed the paperwork to become the mandatory
Yeah, he
challenger.
found he petitioned.
And when he got knocked off, then it moved everybody up a spot.
Then you know how long you gotta wait to be for a mandatory?
Yeah,
that was his mandatory fight.
But Bud was a super champion, so it's 18 months. But
it's
he
18
took
months. It's 18 months for them. It's
for a super
9
champion.
months for the IBF. It's a year for the WBC, and I forgot what it was for the WBA.
Whoa, salute, fellas.
What up?
What's good?
Hey, look. I just want to just say this one thing real quick because we all it was all pointed out wrong. When Virgil had the rhabdomyosis, the number one was vacant, and Boots was number 2 at the time, and I think he was number 2 at the time when Crawford fought Avanesian. But even after that, Boots was already in the IBF eliminator when he fought Custio Clayton. So after he fought Custio Clayton, he was already slated for that interim IBF championship. So he pretty much already had set his path out. But I do feel what the brothers are saying. If he was number 2 and would have waited in the WBO, he would have definitely got that shot.
But what I'm saying is like before the Custio Clayton thing and all that, before any of that, but even before the Avanesian fight, he had already made it clear he was going the IBF route.
That's what I'm saying. When he fought Custio Clayton, that was an IBF eliminator.
Yeah.
D Young, the only thing I disagree, everything you said is true. The only thing I disagree is him getting a fight. It wouldn't have happened because he got caught up in the what happened with him is they got caught up in the Bud versus Spence politics.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the WBO.
I don't see what Bud and Spence politics got to do with Jaron Ennis and Espinoza being the president of the network and him still in the fight with Crawford when he's a free agent and he ain't got no dancing partner. Like that's the whole thing that I get confused with. You feel what I'm saying? Because
I don't know why you confused when you're already behind the scenes when they hit y'all up and you ain't taking it serious because you're already talking to Bud about a Burrow versus Spence fight, and if you could have if you could have put Jaron Ennis, if that would have fell through and you put Jaron Ennis, you could make it on Showtime instead of partner up with Black Prime. That's
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like you can take Black Prime out of the equation, right? Like once Espinoza talked to them and he said the conversation didn't really get anywhere. That's when you have the WBO champion. You got your fighter Jaron Ennis over here that's looking for a title shot. That's where you come in and you make that fight. Okay, we got Crawford over here because he's not signed to anybody at the time. I got Jaron Ennis over here. Let's make the fight. So if we believe in our fighter, Jaron Ennis, if he beats Crawford, he has the WBO belt. We make undisputed over here either way.
WBO he wouldn't have been mandatory on WBO.
He didn't have to be a man. He didn't have
yes,
to be.
You do.
He didn't have to be a mandatory fight.
You don't have to be. You don't have to.
He didn't have to be a mandatory, bro. He didn't have to be a mandatory. If Crawford says I'll fight Jaron Ennis and Showtime can make the fight, Espinosa, you guys can make the fight, then it'll be for the WBO title. If Jaron Ennis wins, he has the WBO title. Errol Spence has to fight him because he has the WBO title.
But that's if
It's that
Crawford
simple.
wanted to do that. Crawford looking at it as a high risk when he could have fought Spence, bro.
No, but I'm going off what Espinosa said on the YSM Media interview. He said if we wanted, and he said this verbatim, if we wanted to make a Crawford versus Ennis fight, we could do that. So why didn't you do it?
Because it's Spence versus Crawford is the bigger fight for the network.
Yeah, and they needed that money, so that's why he wasn't looking at that offer
that's
seriously.
Cool. And you know what?
Why would you look at that offer serious when Black Crimes don't represent the fighter and you already talking to the fighter?
That's cool, but guess what? The same
you don't represent the fighter
then,
either. So what are we talking about?
The same rules that applied then are the same rules that applies now. You feel what I'm saying? If we're talking about from a financial standpoint, you feel what I'm saying?
I'm saying even right now, on a financial standpoint, besides if he fights Canelo, right now, debatably ain't no bigger fights for Bud than Boots.
No,
he doesn't have to fight.
Not a big fight.
Hey, he doesn't have to fight Jaron Ennis just to
the
fill
hardcore
void.
fans. That's a big fight, but
that's where I say it's cap because that's
Listen.
Man, come on,
to
Ortiz.
the fight
you
fans,
keep on bringing out outside radio personalities. Hold up, James. You bringing up radio personalities, man.
They don't know nothing about boxing.
It's not like they attend boxing matches all the time and they've been respected for their boxing knowledge. None of these cats.
Bro,
even Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is a polymath in doing his journalistic duties. Yes, sir, he is.
When
but
people that don't know shit about
just
boxing
because he speaks,
talk about somebody that means it's
chill,
bigger, bro.
Ortiz, chill. Just because he speak about a particular fight doesn't make him worthy enough for you to bring him up in this conversation like he's speaking scripture. He's been absolutely wrong on a lot of things. And then Charlamagne the God ain't never been known for being no boxing expert. But you bringing it up, man, it's comical, bro.
No, what's comical is that
here's another thing. To us hardcore fans, yes, Boots and Crawford is a big fight, but to investors, it's not making. That doesn't make sense to them.
I disagree. What makes it a big fight, man? We talking about the
eye
test aesthetically.
I'm talking about
what makes it a big fight, man?
What to me? All right, as a boxing man, we see Bud style, we see Boot style. It's interesting. It makes for a good fight towards fans.
So Boot style is interesting with the level of opponents he has on his resume. It's interesting when he beat up mediocre opponents with his style.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. They put him in. They put him in the ring with fighters that he's going to look good against. But to most fans, they don't think about that or see that. They just see him go out there and do what he do. So to them, it's like
they definitely thought about it when it was Crawford Spence.
Here's where I come. Here's where I come from. Right, what makes it to the boxing fan? What would we rather see? We'd rather see Tank versus Shakur, right?
Who is we though? Who is we?
We talking about boxing fan, hardcore boxing people. You rather see Tank versus Shakur than Tank versus Ryan, right?
Correct.
I mean, Tank versus Ryan
got no accolades. Never won a title,
bro.
Never won a title.
It doesn't matter. Like, no one was really calling for a Tank versus Ryan.
Javante Davis. Then why did 1.4?
Look. Javante Davis does
because of Mexican fans.
You know what I'm saying? He brought
Ryan
his social
Garcia,
media.
Ryan Garcia
brought his social media following. You know what I'm saying?
That makes it a big fight, bro.
He had a huge following. Look, and Javante Davis selected to fight him. Boxing fans wasn't talking like, okay, he had a title or something like that, an interim title, anything like that. They didn't care about that. They was thinking the same thing when Mikey Garcia stepped in there with Spence.
Boxing fans wasn't even happy he chose Ryan.
But what y'all not get is when it goes beyond the hardcore boxing fans, that makes it a big fight.
Ortiz, what does this have to do with Jaron Ennis? He don't have no freaking country behind him. He don't have no social media
Yeah.
following. What does this
If
have to
you
do with
if you
Jaron
don't
Ennis,
got no
bro?
social media following, go check his Instagram, bro.
Oh my
It,
If
but
God! Now you
if
want
you
me
but
to
if you
check his
if you bringing
Instagram?
up
God dang!
Tank, if you bringing up Tank and Ryan Garcia and Boost, they turned pro 3 months apart from each other. So you feel what I'm saying? If we looking at it from that aspect. No, I'm looking at it as an aspect when I went back to saying when Charlemagne and people outside of
stop
boxing
talking
calling
about
it. It
Charlemagne.
mean,
That dude has
Yeah,
no
it don't
relevance.
matter,
Charlemagne,
bro. Y'all not
they are
trying.
on a sports media outlet. You feel what I'm saying? That they're just guys
So
when
Stephen
they
A. Smith and Joe Rogan ain't a sports media outlet.
yeah
Stephen A.
no
Smith
Stephen A.
knows
Smith is
nothing about boxing. He will let
Y'all
you
they're
know
keep.
they're a
that
sports
himself.
outlet.
My
They're a
whole point
sports
is the
outlet.
people that don't know nothing about boxing, when they bring up a boxer, that means it's a big sport. When
No,
people
when
that
they
don't
bring
know
up
boxing,
boxers, they're trying to push a narrative.
No,
when they push
they just do intel on the topic that they're going to talk about. So of
that,
course, okay, well let me my assistant give me some names of guys that we can talk about when we bring up this topic. Okay, well Jaron, we're gonna bring up Jaron Ennis. You feel what I'm saying?
if they didn't bring, he would if he didn't know who he was, he wouldn't bring him up.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I,
I
no,
agree with you on
I
that. The
disagree.
only
I disagree with that because most of the time they don't know. They'll ask like their publicist or somebody, what's the big topic? Like, what's the big name out there? Then they'll get a name, they'll do a little research, and then they'll go, you know, do their little show or do their little interviews. And then when you ask them certain questions, they don't know. And they're like, oh, okay, okay,
No,
okay.
there's a
That
such thing called social media where they see a lot of people go viral and stuff like that they got their eye on them.
The thing about it is Crawford, he beat Spence so easily and so handily that they have to throw another name in there to try and make it seem like he needs a challenge. So Jaron Ennis would be he would be the next he would be the next
man up.
formidable person. You feel what I'm saying? Because he beat Spence so easy, because everybody had that slated as a 50-50 fight. People that really knew what was really going on, we knew it wasn't a 50-50
Yeah.
fight. We knew he
Bro,
couldn't beat Crawford. And
people
just
don't want to see it because it was so lopsided. I agree with you 1,000%. If
No,
that's
we
what
ain't talking
Crawford,
about. We talking about before the fight.
before we actually seen the fight. Everybody, it's a 50-50 fight. Betting odds, they had Crawford as a slight favorite. You feel what I'm saying? But everybody thought it was going to be a 50-50 fight. Everybody thought it was going to be a Hagler Hearns type of
Man.
Situation, and we didn't get that.
And you can
but it
go
got a lot
check
of
it.
attention, right?
Crawford watched him. So now they input Jaron Ennis. You feel what I'm saying? So, and the thing that I say, if they do fight, just give him his credit after he beat him, because I know Crawford will beat Jaron Ennis. There's no doubt in my mind that he win. You feel what I'm saying? You just got to pay the man. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's like you talking about the politics of boxing with everything else, but boxing is also a business. So if you got if people that lobby for Ennis or whatever the case may be, if they know what's going on behind the scenes more so than people in the YTC or whatever the case may be, if you guys are privy to any numbers that's being calculated and thrown out there, all you got to do is pay the man, and he'll do what he needs to do. You feel what I'm saying? Because he's not, because the narrative is he's ducking Jaron Ennis.
It's
He's
not
not
even
ducking anybody.
being cool with certain people that know Bud and stuff. It ain't even about money. If Boots really want that fight with Bud, test his character, test his manhood.
Man,
You'll get that fight quick.
Here it is, where I say y'all just talking.
I'm not just talking, bro. I'm not just talking, bro.
No,
You better check my resume, bro.
Here's what I'm saying. One, that's just not Boots to be going around just disrespecting people like that. That's just not him. Don't matter who it is, but competitive. And one, Crawford, when you talk about when you play now you're the businessman, this and that, it happens to a lot of them. Now he's on top. Oh, he is the businessman, a high risk, low reward. Oh, it ain't a big fight, which is cat. That's a big fight. That's the version of quote unquote
big fight.
Even before the Spence fight, he was getting a $6 million guarantee from Top Rank.
Now
he was getting a $6 million guarantee from Top Rank. Like he's always been the top paid welterweight. So you got to understand, like, when the car's in drive, there's no reason to go in reverse. You feel what I'm saying? So
he gonna get paid more than $6 million to fight Boots, bro. Stop the cat.
Okay, from where
From who?
though? because
Who's gonna
because
put the
because
money
because
up?
because see now
Easy. That's a
when we
big
talk
fight
about the
on
No, no,
politics,
no, no, no. It ain't
when we
easy.
talk
Who's
about the
gonna put
politics,
the
where's
money
the
up?
money gonna
Hey,
come
one
from?
at a time, fellas.
You
Easy.
know,
Amazon Prime could put that up. He gonna make more than that
yeah,
against
but
Boots.
Boots isn't signed to the PBC though.
He's fighting on Amazon Prime, bro.
Okay, he's not signed to the PBC, and you know
But he
it's
been fighting on PBC.
he's only been allowed to fight the you know the C class fighters like he never got he was on
Behind the
proverbially the
scenes,
right
people
side of the
don't. You
street.
don't even know
He
what's
never
going.
got any of those
He was
fights.
never signed to PBC and still not
Behind the
signed to PBC.
scenes, behind the scenes, what y'all don't know is that most of the fights, 5 or 6 opponents turn them down.
So you saying we don't know, but
Yeah,
of
y'all
course
don't know
people
because y'all be like, oh
look.
yeah, he's
Okay, we
fighting this,
don't
he's
know.
fighting that.
Okay, all right, Ortiz, we
I
don't
don't know
know.
about that because
But really, we just trying to pretty much, like get to the remedy on you clarifying why this is a big fight based other than what you think it is. Let's say where's the paperwork, where's the numbers, where's the events. Like he had a fight in Philly. What I think it was like 10,000. No, not 10,000. I think it was like what 1,000 in there. I
No, he
mean,
had a fight in Atlantic City that was like a 5,000 venue and sold it up the boardwalk
how do
off.
you know he sold it out though? I mean, that's not nothing to brag about. You know what I'm saying? That still don't mean
Was
anything.
you
He don't have no record of any big fights and no big names per
to
his
be honest
resume.
with you, till recently, Crawford couldn't sell out anything besides his hometown.
Bro, we're not talking about what he couldn't do. We talking about what he did do. Okay, and just like Green said, he was already getting money at top rank. He was getting higher than when you talking about $6 million. He was getting paid higher for his guarantee money. That's why Bob Arum said he lost a lot of money on him because he wasn't doing no high pay-per-views to get that money back on the back end. So he was just getting paid. He negotiated the $6 million. You know what I'm saying? He was getting paid, dog.
yeah
Way
that
higher.
narrative that
We
he just
acting
became
like
a
Bud is
businessman
doing is
that's
like
not
a
a fact.
star like a Tank or Canelo.
But you was saying he didn't really have no business sense just because he just now made it to the top. He just wasn't start getting paid. Yeah, he got a high payday with Spence, but he was still getting a
No,
higher
we
guarantee than
not
most
saying we
fighters
not
over in
saying
top
business. I'm
rank.
saying brand marketing, bro.
Man, you be
brand
trying to
brand
move the
brand
goalposts
brand
every
marketing,
time
bro.
instead
Like
of just
he
explaining it.
just bounced around to different platforms and fought. You know, he was featured in a high selling boxing movie. Like he's been doing things thus far to get his name out there and promote his brand. You feel what I'm
And what
saying? So,
and Green, we talking about marketing, Ortiz.
And I even get
What is Ennis talking? What is Ennis doing with marketing, bro?
I where it comes to marketing, do I believe he
Who is
could go
marketing
deeper?
to him?
Yeah.
Casper
But his
Management?
social media and
Who's
people was
managing
just
Ennis?
impressed with his
Casper?
style and looking at his eye. Yes. Boots right now is a hot name.
A
yeah,
hot
but
name to who though? In
his
Philly?
name is hot because you guys keep attaching him to Crawford. That's why his
Yeah,
name is
y'all
hot.
riding off Crawford's
Yeah,
coattail,
like you
man. That's
Even
you
now it's
attach his
Crawford
name to in
Coattail.
the
They was
algorithm to
attaching him to
Crawford.
Spence.
man, please,
But
man. Wasn't nobody attaching
nobody
him to
was talking about
Spence.
Jaron Ennis when he was Spence's mandatory for the IBF.
Yes, they was.
Nobody was talking about him.
Yes, they was talking about Jaron Ennis.
Man, look,
I'm gonna
It's just
correct you
that
on
they
that.
got
I'm gonna
so
correct
caught
you
up
on
in
that. Hold on, Riri. People were talking about Boots when he was Spence's mandatory, but it was like the hardcore fans. It wasn't no casuals. Now that his name is attached to Bud, everybody is talking about Boots because his name is attached to Bud. If his name wasn't attached to Bud nor Spence, nobody would be talking about Boots.
they talking of that. No matter what they say, they of course as a welterweight, you want your names to be attached for him as the next guy coming up.
that's anybody though, bro.
Yeah,
That's
but
Exactly.
anybody.
that's only because of the vlogs that y'all do out of y'all gym. You feel what I'm saying? Like every other vlog has got Crawford's name in there. Y'all might go to the bus stop and see somebody and be like, oh, this guy said Terence Crawford should do this, or you
And
feel what
and
I'm
that's
saying? Like
and that's
you
a
feel
great
what I'm
point, Green. That's a
you
great
feel what I'm
point.
saying? So you strategically doing that to peak the algorithm and attach
And,
these guys' names on
and
That
you.
not
means
and not build
YSM is
up
doing a
Ennis
great
on his
job.
own. You're not building up Ennis on his own. You're using Crawford in the algorithm over everything. Like build him up off his own brand. Come up with new
Well,
creative ideas to build a man up off his own brand.
What
Y'all
is y'all?
busy up here
That means
talking about
YSM is doing a
Crawford ain't a
great job.
star. You talking about Crawford ain't a star, but yet y'all continue to attach his name to Jaron Ennis to build up and hope for a wish for him to get a fight with him, bro.
They both welterweights on top. What are you talking
So
about, bro?
what? So what?
What you
We
mean?
know they both
Shit, as a
welterweights.
fan, you
So
want to
what?
see Bud versus
The
Boots?
man sit up here and submitted administrative work knowing damn well he could not fulfill that obligation. That's how you want to be
What?
elevated? That's how you respect the man? To submit paperwork?
To submit paperwork.
Yeah, IBF submitted paperwork to get that belt, knowing damn well Bud Crawford couldn't
What?
fulfill that obligation with a rematch clause.
Was it even? Let's say Spence won, he would have got stripped too.
See, you going with another scenario
No,
that
no,
just
no. It
makes
ain't
no
no
sense.
scenarios. It ain't no
Just
what
makes
y'all.
no sense, bro.
This is where I say, so y'all wanted him to hold the belts hostage?
Ortiz, you over there in Philly, bro?
Yeah, I'm out of Philly.
So you out of Philly? Are you in the gym? Are you in that gym that's Ennis is at?
Yes.
So why I don't never see you on the video with YSM and allow him and you to have an interview to talk about topics to make sense with Ennis
That's
and
because
Crawford?
you must not pay attention because he interviewed me a lot.
This the Ortiz bull.
Yeah, the
You
Ortiz.
the one with the Dragon Ball Z hair and shit, huh?
Yup, I just cut it. Yup.
Oh, yeah. He be over there. You like to call
Okay.
Terence
A lot
Crawford
of them
fans
I
family.
No,
understand.
that's why I was going before. How I found out about your channel and kept up with it was through Jahad Tucker. I spoke to Jahad, Jahad Tucker. I was the one to set it down, and then on YouTube you spoke about the sparring and him coming down. I was the one to set it up.
That's cool. I know who you are now. That's cool. I still ask you this. I can understand why you going hard for Ennis because you in the gym. Okay, we established that. But yet I don't see you making a statement that to me I respect to basically prove that he's warranted to step in there with Crawford other than having the IBF title that he never be the champion for. He'd never be the champion, bro. Like, I don't have nothing against Ennis, man. I don't have no reason to dislike the brother. Like I said, he's a cool, low-key dude. He handles himself, with class in the sport, and all that. But I'm talking strictly boxing. He has one of the most mediocre resumes out here in the sport. Period. Y'all need to find a way to build up that man and get him on social media and something to build up his brand
Yeah.
instead of riding Crawford's
Yeah,
coattails all the
because
time.
it's
Here's what
bad
I
when
got.
Tank.
Hey, I'm
Here's
gonna
what
tell
I
you one
gotta
other
say, right?
thing.
Here's
Hold
what I
up,
gotta
It's
Ortiz.
bad when Tank has a better resume
Hold
than
up,
you.
James. Hold up, James. And that's another thing with that gym. Y'all are Crawford haters over there. Point blank. Period.
Bro, ain't
Y'all are
nobody.
Crawford haters, man.
If you hear my interviews, I'll be telling people I like Crawford and Spence as boxers and people. It's just they fans is be acting crazy when they turn into fanagers when it comes
Man,
to.
when
Hey,
before
and
he
that's the same thing with the Boots fans. That's the same thing, bro.
You'll
stepped
never.
in there with
I
Spence,
never
bro.
hear besides Canelo is a few select fans where it comes to is another person on top. Oh yeah, they shouldn't fight them.
Before he stepped in there with Spence, man, y'all was just criticizing the hell out of freaking Crawford, man. Like, I don't think nobody in there was going for Crawford in that fight. Nobody. And Jaron, he wasn't even
Besides Coach
the
Hackett,
topic of discussion. He wasn't even the topic of discussion, bro.
Well, Crawford and Spence. Crawford and Spence was the biggest headliner welterweight. And I
But
personally said
I'm talking
I
about y'all
personally
was
said it
hating
was
on
a
Crawford.
50-50 fight.
Y'all was hating on Crawford going into the Avanesian fight. Y'all was hating on Crawford going into the Spence fight.
Was
Man.
was we supposed to be happy about the Avanesian fight?
No, look, the
But you got your
Avanesian.
opportunity
Look,
Was
check
after
we?
the
this out.
Oh, so
Avenesian fight.
Avanesian
Check this
deserved
out.
the
The
shot, but not
Avanesian
Boots.
it's not like
why
Boots.
didn't y'all fight Avanesian
Check
though?
this out. It's
Because
not like Boots was in line to fight Crawford. You up here talking about a situation that you wanted to happen. You wanted it to happen. We're
So
talking about
we was supposed to be excited about Avanesian fight.
if you
Let's
didn't
get
care
real.
about Avanesian, you shouldn't have been putting too much thought process into
No,
it. Let
when it gets the
Crawford fight
question
the guy.
is,
Let the guy fight. Let Crawford fight Avanesian, and then y'all get back to doing what you was doing. Why you mad
yeah,
about it?
let's see pull up Jose Benavidez record before he fought him as mandatory. Did he deserve the shot compared to
he,
Boots?
he look, Jose Benavidez was undefeated, but here's my question to
Who he
you.
fought? Go look at his record.
Here's my
Go
question to
look at
you.
Mean Machine.
What's the difference between David Avanesian and Karen Checkerson? What's the difference
But
between those two guys?
David Aberdeen and Karen Chepkerson
What's
won.
Yeah,
the difference between them?
and David Avanesian was the EBU.
EBU champion.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
the difference between Karen? The main difference is that I know of, one was undefeated. He just didn't have a name. Who was a third opponent because two people didn't want to fight him.
Karen wasn't undefeated before he fought Jaron Ennis, though.
Well, he had probably one loss, a draw, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he had a loss.
Difference is, and if you really know, Rashidi Ellis turned that fight down. That was the first opponent they tried to make.
Yeah, Rashidi Ellis said they came with a disgusting offer to fight him, basically for him to fight for pennies, just like Cody Crowley. Just like Cody Crowley said. There's been a few other guys that you guys do vlogs and say,
Okay.
we try to fight this guy,
you brought up,
and then it's this guy's ducking or whatever the case may be. Well, just like Eddie Hearn said, when you good, you got to pay your opponents.
Hold on, because he brought, because I was doing something. He brought up Jose Benavidez, what he do before he fought Crawford. That is a good one. Is what I would have said if he not fought Mauricio Herrera. Now, let me know who on Boots' resume stacks up to Mauricio Herrera.
Sergey Lipinets, bro.
A 140
What are you
pounder?
talking about?
A 140 pounder?
A 140 pounder, his first fight at 147?
That wasn't his first fight.
Boots wasn't his first fight before Ortiz.
That wasn't his first.
Ortiz
knocked out Lamont Peterson.
Ortiz got
retired,
it,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sergey did have several fights at 147. He did.
Oh, yeah, several fights at 147?
Yeah, before he fought Boots.
Okay.
But still, he's a 140 pounder. After he fought Boots, he
down to
140.
A lot of people go up in weight, bro.
Yeah, that win not marinating.
That's like
well
saying
he
Crawford was 135 and somebody who cares? They went up in that weight.
I mean, what they got to do with Ennis, though, man? You know what I'm saying? You still haven't proven why, the push for Ennis just because he got a belt, man. I mean, come on.
He got
man,
a belt and he got
bro.
a good brand name, bigger than what many options that
he has a
Crawford
brand
got
name.
now.
He has a brand name in the bubble of the gym that you are in,
No,
bro. In the bubble of Philly.
So he has a bigger name than Tim Zoo?
Yes, in America. Hell
man,
no, he
don't. No, he don't, bro.
No, he don't.
Ain't no way in hell, bro.
Ain't no way in hell, bro. Tim Zoo, the Zoo family has a big name in America.
Nobody out that don't know nothing outside of boxing don't even know who the hell Tim the Zoo or Costa Zoo is, bro.
You crazy if you say they don't know who Costa Zoo is, bro. You crazy.
Costa Zoo beat Julio Cesar Chavez.
I can walk into any hood. Nobody knows who Tim the Zoo or Costa Zoo is, bro.
Now. Man, Costa Zoo beat Julio Cesar Chavez.
I can't be mad at Ortiz. Ortiz repping where he from, man. He gonna stand on 10.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? That's hilarious.
No, it's not about.
He said I could go in any hood.
Any hood.
I'm just wondering what promotional brand is Jaron Ennis gonna sign to so we can get this fight done. Cause the narrative is y'all think Crawford fans don't want him to fight Ennis. I want him to fight Ennis because I know what he's gonna do in there once they get in there. You feel what I'm saying? I want to see it, but I also want him to get the Canelo fight and then go off into the sunset undefeated and paid. You feel what I'm saying? And
the reason why we say Crawford fans don't want to see it because it's always excuses. Oh, he don't got the brain. He don't. Boost is even a bigger name than 95% of
you know why Crawford fans are saying that?
No. Crawford fans are saying that, bro. We want to see him knock off pound for pound fighters like he just did. You feel him? Errol Spence on the pound for pound list. Canelo Alvarez on the pound for pound list. You can't see the thing is you're not ducking anybody or you're not staying away from a fighter that's presumably dangerous when you're fighting guys that's already proven. Trying to fight guys that's on the pound for pound list. Because I see a lot of the videos moving up 3 weight classes.
And hold on before you get in. And here's my thing on Crawford fans. Reason why, because we want to see him fight Boots, but the reason why most of us have a hiccup on Boots is because when you had the opportunity, like you said, you really wanted that fight. When you had the opportunity, you didn't take it.
That's why I say it's cap.
It's not cap, bro.
He didn't have when Black Prime even called, Bud was already talking to Showtime about Spence.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, because you don't never put all your eggs in one basket. When they first started talking to Spence, the Crawford and Spence talks, when that first started happening, you already know they was already in negotiations to fight David Avenesian. That when they got the fight that they wanted with Spence, they stopped that talks. David Avenesian went somewhere else. He was getting ready to defend his title when the what's names fell through. He dropped his titles and got back into negotiation with Bud. You can have two negotiations. If one doesn't go right, you go to the next one.
And
That's
even
the same. That's the same
Showtime,
thing
if
the
you really listen
PBC
to
was
the
doing
interview,
when they were trying to do that with get Canelo and try to get that 3-fight deal with Charlo, Benavidez, and Spence. You always want to have a backup plan. So let's not talk.
did you
They
hear
they didn't
Espinoza
do
and
it
Bud
because
and
he
them
was
say
already
Bud even
negotiating with Spence.
admitted?
That has nothing to do with it.
Did you even hear Bud even admit if Spence didn't want to go through, Showtime was bringing up boots for themselves, not trying to deal with Black Prime? But
That's
that was
just
their
because
head. They
everybody
was
was shitting
already.
on Black Prime, bro.
That's
Yeah,
like
my
that.
my thing with that is, man, Espinoza, like Ennis is a fighter that you working with exclusively. Errol Spence got Al Heyman. You feel Errol Spence got a team. You feel what I'm saying? So if him and Crawford is talking about making them fight, cool. The platform that they fight on, of course, is going to be Showtime. Even though the Ugas fight was the first time Spence ever fought on the Showtime pay-per-view. But when you Espinoza and you got a fighter that done worked his way up through the ranking system, so to speak, you feel what I'm saying? And you got a chance to get the guy that got the missing strap on that was on the other side of the street, so to speak. Why don't you make that fight for your fighter?
Easy because the politics was into
Well,
Spence
I mean,
versus Crawford,
what
bro.
politics is going to stop
You
the
act like
president of the
Espinoza was
sports network,
managing
though?
it.
So
You feel what I'm
so
saying?
what you just admitted to is the
Come on, man.
politics on Boots' side kept him from getting the Crawford fight.
The politics all around. Yes, the Spence and Crawford politics kept him from getting the Crawford Spence.
I gotta call that cap.
That's cap, bro.
I gotta call that
Come
cap
on,
because
man.
Espinosa don't got nothing to do with Spencer's team. You feel what I'm saying? Al
Al
Heyman
Hill,
represents he represents Errol Spencer's negotiation tactics or whatever the case may be. Just like when BOK Prime tried to get in touch with Jaron Ennis, what did Bozy Ennis tell them? Y'all gotta holler at Espinosa. You
We
feel what I'm saying?
loyal,
We loyal to Espinosa, so we're not gonna make a move without Steven Espinosa being a
even
part
though
of
they
it.
wasn't signed to Showtime.
You feel what I'm saying? So now you got Espinosa in the mix. So now Espinosa knows Terence Crawford. He's willing to fight. We're not saying he's sending him no contract. We're not saying he's sending him no terms. Anything. Only thing that Steven Espinosa knows at this point in time is that Terence Crawford is willing to fight his fighter. Why don't you get your young fighter that opportunity to fight him?
And it
because they all,
and in
if
Steven
y'all know,
Espinosa's
Espinoza
defense. Why?
Espinoza does business with Al. He's even working on Prime after the situation with Showtime. But he got caught up into the Spence versus Bud. That was their first. That was their priority. That was the big fight. That brings
Well,
everybody the most money at the time.
how is that a priority when they was gonna make Errol Spence and Keith Thurman at 154 pounds? Because even then in that situation, it was, let's forget about Jaron Ennis. Like, and again, Espinoza, you're the guy that signs off on the funding or whatever the case may be for this platform. You feel what I'm saying? Why are you not getting your guy this opportunity with these guys over here? Because what you're telling me, Johnny Ortiz,
They
is
tried.
that
They
is that
they
that
tried.
that,
They
that he's
tried
going
to
to
make the
fight
Thurman
PBC
fight, and
fighters,
he
or whatever
turned
the
it
case may
down.
be, but he didn't fight the creme de la creme welterweights of the PBC.
They tried to make the
But he
Thurman
was on
fight.
that side of the street though.
They tried to make the Thurman fight. He turned it down.
Thurman said y'all turned it down.
That's cap.
See, the thing about Thurman is what's so crazy is Thurman, he's the A side versus Tenzu, right? So if we talking about like how things go A side, B side, whatever the case may be, how did you guys send Thurman a contract and he turned it down? Isn't it supposed to be the other way around?
Showtime tried to put the name. How about Bruce Ennis? He didn't want it.
Okay, but did he get sent an offer, or did they see what he would want to fight him? Because I heard 10 million or something of that nature.
That's what he said. He wants a minimum at least 10 million to fight
So
Boots.
how you turn it down then? If you
How
want
he
10
turned
million?
it down? Easy. You outprice it.
That's not a turn down.
Yeah,
Outprice it is
It doesn't. It doesn't
you
look
supposed to
good, but
get
it's
your
not a
fight. You
turn
supposed to
down.
get your fighter that opportunity, man. You know what I mean?
That's just like reverse.
I mean,
you know,
realistically.
a Crawford. I mean, that's just like, offering a fighter low balling them with pennies just to get them not to take the fight. Is that them turning down the fight, or you influencing them to turn down the fight?
No, some people low ball on purpose too. Make it
Yeah.
seem like
But
they.
no, but that's not what he's saying. I get what W says trying to say is like, if you're saying that that's a turn down, wouldn't a low ball, would that be the same?
At
With the
that point
person
in
that didn't
time,
take, with the person that you say is trying to price themselves out, turn it down. If a person that's getting low ball and they don't take the fight, did they turn it down because they got low ball?
no, that's a tactic. They make it. Some people
So
will make it seem like, oh
why
yeah,
is him asking for 10 million not a tactic?
10. He said 10 million because at the point of time
You
that
can't
10,
hold double standards now.
no, it ain't no double standards, bro. Y'all just be talking, bro.
Yo, let Ortiz get his shit off. Go ahead, Ortiz.
No, what I'm saying is 10 million. If you at that time when they offered, they know that it couldn't happen. We can't do that. We can't afford. We'll lose money paying him 10 million for the Boots fight at the time. He wants a minimum at least 10 million before you even caught but Boots. They knew Boot that ain't in position to do that. So that's a way of they call it outpricing themselves. Now you might have some,
how did he know Boost wasn't in the position? First of all, the money ain't coming from Boost. It's coming from who?
it's coming from Showtime. At that time,
They was
they
able to get Crawford Spence.
they knew it would have lost it.
Hey, you got to get
Sometimes
Jaron.
it's kind of like how Top Rank did. Like Top Rank complaining, oh yeah, we gave Terence Crawford a minimum of 6 million and we never was able to make money. We kept on losing money.
Yeah,
That's the
I got to call that cap on Showtime though because 2021 Jake Paul did as he wanted to on the Showtime platform.
But
He did
Jake Paul was selling out more numbers than most boxers.
exactly, but you have an in-house boxer that signed exclusively to the network. Now that didn't mean anything for Gervonta Davis though.
Gervonta Davis got a big brand. You talking about the top 2 most selling boxer in boxing right now.
I mean, right now, but at that time, 2021, like he was
2021, he was still right there.
okay, but still though, like when you got fighters that's got a deal strictly with the network, they should be top priority though. Should they not?
If
Because or what's the advantage of being having an exclusive network deal? Because the only guys that I knew that had that was Jaron Ennis, Jake Paul, and Gervonta Tank Davis.
Tank never had a straight exclusive network deal.
I'm misinformed now. I
Yeah,
could have swore he had an exclusive deal with Showtime.
no,
No, he was
Canelo.
just
To just fight on Showtime because I've never seen him fight on any other pay-per-view platform. I've never seen Gervonta Davis fight on Fox. He always fought on Showtime.
Yeah, but it was never exclusive. Like he never had exclusive. Like Canelo has exclusive Showtime. He had exclusive with their zone at one point. He's the one that has the exclusive. He has the exclusive deals with Showtime. Recently, he signed the PBC deal. But he
No, I know. I'm talking. That's two different things. That's a promotional company.
no
Showtime isn't a promotional company. It's the network and the
is a net
platform
is a network is a
that the
net.
fighter fights on.
I agree.
Gervonta Davis, he had an exclusive deal with Showtime where he only
Me,
fights on Showtime.
if you want to hear from me personally, I've been saying it. People ask you why. I personally think Boots should have. Y'all still there?
we still here.
Yeah.
I personally think Boots should have signed a PBC deal. That's my personal opinion.
No. They independent.
The thing you see, independence is harder for him to get more fights on the PBC platform.
Well, look at this way. If he would have signed, look at the fighters that was on the shelf. Well, look at one point in time, there was 3 top names of PBC that was inactive. You had both Charlos and a Spence. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Spence kept on getting injured. Charlo, especially Jamal, from behind the scenes, he went through a big
Man,
mental breakdown and stuff like that. Right
you
now,
had
PBC
okay.
was behind the scenes is about to get more dates, but people it slowed down a little bit because that Amazon Prime deal had to get renegotiated twice.
Yeah,
So
Espinosa said they're not fronting the money up. Espinosa, he just did an interview a couple hours ago. He said PBC putting their own money up for
from
those
what
fights.
yeah, because from what I heard, this is from what I heard. Like the person that they originally, because they originally did the deal like back in October, it was supposed to get announced. He ended up leaving Prime Amazon, so they had to renegotiate another deal. So that kind of slowed everything up because there was even fights that was supposed to be announced and that they had to back up because of the whole like person leaving.
This is
So
gonna
that
be.
kind of made like the PBC inactive for this little bit of time.
I'm interested to see how this is gonna go with them now having to put their own money up.
I mean, you talking about Walmart parking lot, probably.
They going to me personally. Do I think Tim Tszyu is a good card for a boxing fan? But do I think it's a big pay-per-view card? Because Tim Tszyu and Kasazu, I said Tim Tszyu and
Oh,
Keith
he's
Thurman
fighting
to
his
me ain't gonna be
pops.
that big numbers.
Yeah, it's terrible, bro. That
So,
card's terrible.
but as a fight fan to watch it is a deep card. But just the headline ain't too. To me, they should have rolled out somebody. I get Tank going through. They should have rolled out like a Tank, Canelo, that type of fighter to roll out with.
Hold
But
on. When is this fight with Tim Tszyu?
March
March
30th.
30th.
Oh, see, you would have never got Canelo to sign to that.
No, but I'm just saying, like a rollout fight you have to have a bigger name to roll out with. Them two to me ain't that big of names for a pay-per-view to the masses. We
Yeah,
ain't talking about just
You say
hardcore
it's a
boxing
deep.
fans.
You say it's a deep card. Like, what's deep about this? This is freaking damn near damn a pothole
You got Fundora coming back, Lara,
off a knockout.
Rolly Romero, Isaac Cruz to me, and then Tim Tszyu and Thurman. That as a card wise, you can't say that's to me a bad card.
Man,
Now
that
to me, my only
Laura
issue
and
with the card is
Zarafa.
Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman probably ain't gonna do a lot of numbers pay-per-view.
I mean, it's not a title fight like you feel what I'm saying?
yeah, it's a
They're not even fighting
non-title
for a
fight
title.
for
It's a
12
non-title
rounds,
fight.
dog.
But even
It's like pointless, man. A non-title fight for 12 rounds. It's just Tyson Fury and Ngannou just fought for non-title 10 rounds. Why are they fighting for 12 rounds? It's a non-title.
even more than titles, they not to me big names to the masses. In America, like
But
we
you
was
said it
going
was a
before,
deep card, though. It's not really a deep card. Rolly Romero in the main event, it doesn't make it a deep card because he's
Co-main.
fighting Esau Cruz.
that's co-main.
I mean
Rolly
the
versus
co-main. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it.
Isaac
I just
Cruz.
misspoke. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
they,
got
they,
Co-main.
they
Lara
got
on
to
the
go back
card,
and do a cross
Fundora.
promotions, man. That's how you got the numbers with Ryan and Tank, man. Like, of course, Ryan got his social media following, but he was never on pay-per-view. Like you got to go to doing cross promotional fights, and everybody's talking about Crawford and Ennis in some circles, but the fight that quote unquote what you said the streets is really clamoring for, they want Devin Haney and they want Tank Davis.
Yeah,
That
Tank versus Devin they do
that
numbers.
that's the fight that's trending. Like that's the fight that's got everybody
Looking at
talking about and
But
interested.
they
looking
probably
at this
couldn't
card.
finance that shit though, Green. They probably
Look,
couldn't finance it.
hey,
Yeah,
looking at this card, it looks like
yeah,
it
I
might peak
agree.
during the co-main event. I think it might viewership might start dropping off after the co-main event.
No, if somebody order a pay-per-view, they ain't gonna just not watch the main event.
Yeah, Rolly and Pitbull, they last two performances wasn't that great. Like,
Especially against Giovanni.
Yeah,
Esau
they
Cruz,
wasn't
that
that
shit was
great, but
looking
I'm
yeah,
good.
not. But reason why I'm
they
saying that,
wasn't that great.
I'm not
And
counting out
Rolly,
the.
we know Tony Weeks gifted him a win, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
my
think I
guy
got
Ishmael
Isaac Cruz
Roaster,
beat Rolly.
I think Rolly lost that fight against Ishmael.
he definitely lost that.
I mean he was losing the fight.
I think Isaac Cruz gonna beat Rolly, but as a card, is it a good card? Like as just boxing, to me
No.
that should be pay per view. I think they should have, but probably how it is. Like I don't know that deep. If they doing that, they probably have to do pay per view. I think that should have been like a regular Amazon Prime. If you got the subscription, should be able to just watch it.
I
Yeah,
agree with you.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
And what
Definitely.
happened to I totally forgot about what happened to Danny. I thought he was supposed to be fighting Laura.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
said too. But
it's crazy that's the thing. The whole thing got stalled out. He was supposed to fight Lara. They backed that camp up twice, and then from what I had heard, what happened um at the WBA convention, whoever Lara's opponent is forced the WBA because by ruling WBA he's mandatory, so they had to force that fight. Lara couldn't get another voluntary fight, so I heard that's what happened. But Dan, I won't be surprised if Danny fights like Jermell Charlo or somebody like that.
Mm.
Jermell Charlo, what does he have to offer? The WBA belt?
I
That's
would be
it?
surprised if he fights Jamel.
I mean, what he supposed to go through? Goddamn, strict negotiations with a dude who haven't even been heard from since his fight with Canelo. He ain't trying to fight Crawford. I heard he in the gym, but we ain't heard nothing else from Jermell, man. I would
I
like to
mean, a
see
lot of
Crawford go
stuff.
in there and beat his
A
ass,
lot of
though.
people know who they low key fighting or have, but they just waiting to have to announce it and all that. I expect within the next month that a lot of fights is going to be announced, like a lot of dates. But
Who Boots
do know
fighting
for sure
next?
that Canelo is fighting Charlo next, Jamal.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm interested on who Crawford will warm up if he can get that Canelo fight in September.
Who Boots fighting next?
If I
Barrios?
had to take, it's going to be either Barrios or Stanionis.
Okay.
I
it's
think it should be
probably if
Stanionis.
it's probably gonna be staying honest. Don't get it twisted. I want to see Crawford and Boots though.
But
I want to see
Stan,
Crawford and Boots.
he
But
was
I
he
think Eddie Hearn is gonna offer Mario Barrios a blank check to get Conor Ben that fight. He just said it after the fight with him and Pete Dobson.
Stanionis was messed up. About him, you want to talk about somebody who got really screwed?
Yeah,
Is Stanionis
He
because
took
that
step
Virgil
aside though.
WBA screwed
backed
the
out
hell
three
out of him.
times, and then
They gave him
then
they
they
gave him
put
step aside though, and he took it.
then they put
They petitioned to skip his mandatory.
yeah they did that for to skip the mandatory. Then they put Virgil versus Stanionis. Virgil got sick. Stanionis what he had the what you call he had to get it out appendicitis.
Yeah.
And then Virgil couldn't make weight again. So that was three times it got backed up. And then they mandatory. Then they gave him Keith Thurman. Him and Keith Thurman was supposed to fight. Got backed up twice because of this whole situation. But then Keith Thurman instead took Tim Tszyu fight. So that's what left him out. He probably haven't fought in there 2 years now.
It'll be 2 years in what, April?
Yeah. So by the time
Yeah,
he fight,
it'll be 2 years in April.
he'll be out the ring for 2 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he really got screwed.
I'd like to see the him and Boots fight, because then after that fight, can't nobody say anything.
Crawford, that's why I said Crawford limited. Canelo is definitely the top guy he could fight. Tank ain't coming up to 147. Jamel Charlo, he played it down. He played down.
No, we're not even gonna put Tank's name out because Tank had already said that he was just playing.
Tank ain't going up to 147. The only what could be possible that's I can see Tank versus Manny Pacquiao at a catch weight.
Oh yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. Like that's crazy. If Tank go and fight Pacquiao with Crawford, because like I said, I'm a real Crawford fan. So I want to see him active. I don't want him sitting around waiting till September. You know, if they can lock the Canelo fight in. If Spence not gonna rumble, they could slide Boots in there. I'm all with it. Just make sure that bread right.
Yeah.
If that bread right, the reaper gonna come out, and that's all there is to it. And then, like I said, y'all camp, y'all said y'all Philly deserve a shot. Y'all, Bosey. I like Bosey. I like his interviews. You feel what I'm saying? Bosey say, they want to test their skills against him, and y'all gonna get everything y'all looking for. You feel what I'm saying? Just like that bread got to be there. The bread got to come from somewhere.
If they trust me, if they agree and it goes put, the bread is there. That's why I was like, I'm gonna be honest. It's a top 3 most fight that Bud can make right now. To him is the most dangerous. Yes, that's why he making sure. Like, yo, I want to probably get paid like I did Spence. That's what he's looking for. Like, he's looking for them Spence paydays. The only person you can get paid more than Spence right now is Canelo. But we ain't gonna sit here and act like it ain't a big payday. And it's a tough fight. Like I said, screw all the accolades, because I've been telling people, I've been in the gym with a lot of people, and people look at me crazy. And I even been in the gym around Crawford. I was like, Boots is the most talented person I ever been in the gym with, including with Floyd. Talk about straight talent. I
think
see him
Jahad
do
Tucker
shit
is
that I
just
haven't
as
seen since
talented,
Roy
bro.
Jones.
When he moving up to 154 anyway?
Who,
I think,
Boots?
yeah.
He's comfortable right now making 147.
I'm just talking about for competition. You know what I'm saying? For bigger names.
I mean,
He's still
he
young.
I,
you
I
look
think
at
I
it,
think
but
a
you gotta
fight
look.
with him and Giovanni Santilli, that'll be a good fight
Yeah,
for him.
if he can
It-
get
it-
what Boost is, if everything go right, if he can unify or whatever, do this and that, and do a unify in a fight, he'll go up to 154.
He should go there and fight Jahad Tucker, man.
Jahad Tucker, come on, man.
or him and Crawford could fight at 154. It ain't got
It's
to.
funny how you say "come on, man," but Jahad Tucker is just fought a top 5 ranked middleweight. You know what I'm saying? He just fought a top 5 middleweight at 154, a higher division for which Boots compete at. He's one of the most entertaining
To
fighters that's
me,
out there.
honestly, Jahad Tucker, I don't
Don't
know
look at
why
it,
he should be able to
Ortiz,
make
just
147.
because he came in the gym and sparred. We all know it was different things going on that day when he sparred Boots. We talking about real life under the lights, man.
I'm real life under the lights, and I like Jahad Tucker. But you seriously think he could take Boots?
I absolutely do. He's gotten better since that sparring, and plus, from what I heard, he had diarrhea going in there. He was sick. You know what I'm saying? But he still went in there and sparred. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Uh,
admit, seeing him on TV fighting the guy he fought, they sent him in there to knock Jahai out. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up the one getting tired. Why do you think that fight that Boots would just have his way with Jahai Tucker just from sparring? How many people say Gervonta Davis, they got the best of Gervonta Davis, but he's still undefeated?
I mean, Lamont
my,
Peterson got the best of Floyd in sparring.
Yeah, it's plenty of
Jahad
guys out here.
Tucker, Jahad Tucker, I like the kid. I'm not. I'm even excluding the sparring and this and that. He has nothing ability wise on Boots. I'll put it that way.
I mean,
That's how I
look,
look at it.
we know Boots is a all around skill wise dude is on. You never heard me say he didn't have no skills, never. I said if he has skills and they compare him to Crawford, why doesn't his resume reflect that? Jahad Tucker has areas of his skill set that you can't teach in the gym. I think stylistically it'll be a very competitive fight between them two at 154. I think a lot of people just looking at it
I
like that's a
think
local guy who came in there and sparred Boots, and Boots is this, you know what I'm saying, big name that has sparred and he has respect in the sparring, and everything. People
I'm not
respect
even
him.
looking at sparring. I'm looking at styles, and if they was to really fight, I believe Boots would get him right out of there.
I seriously doubt it, bro. When that fight, if it's ever happened, because Jahai's only 21 and Boots is 26, it'll be a good fight. I hope it happened, but y'all
Yeah,
sleeping on
I like
Jahai's
Tucker. I like
improvement,
Jahai a
man.
lot.
Y'all sleeping on his defense, man. Y'all sleeping on
And
his engine.
and even beyond, one time when I was in Vegas, I seen Jahad Tucker work. I'm not saying
I'm
just.
talking
I'm
about under the
talking
bright
about
lights.
like even
I'm talking
put
about under
but
the bright lights, Ortiz.
I'm
Under the bright lights. He's
under
a
the
much
bright
more
under
entertaining fighter than Boots.
It's a lot of
You say he's more
fighters.
entertaining.
It's a lot of people that don't spar well, but under the lights they perform, and you got some that
Didn't
under the
Jahad
lights
Tucker already lose
can't
under
do
the lights?
anything, but in sparring they like sparring gods. So it's
And I like Jahad Tucker, but then he
Hey,
already
you
lose
want
under
to
the
know
lights.
why he lost? Because he had a hand injury. He didn't say anything about his hand was injured. He still went in there and fought Nicholas Flass. But did you hear when they offered the rematch to Nicholas Flass? He turned it down. Yeah, because he was gonna get his ass beat.
And one thing
I was at the fight.
one thing I could tell you about Jaron Ennis, right? The little stuff. People be like the bright lights and all that. I was like the kid. It's hard for him to do stuff outside of boxing. That's all he loves to do. Go look at when he when his break, when they have to do the break to go in between rounds. He never sits down.
That's Jahad Tucker too, bro.
He raps
Jahad
his own
Tucker,
raps.
where he at right now in his career and where Jaron's at, way better resume. You know what I'm saying? Way more. You talking about straight out the gate into the bright lights, turning professional, under the bright lights on TV, prime time. You know what I'm saying?
Jahad Tucker was never better than Boots.
Look, I didn't say Jahad Tucker was better than Boots. I say his resume at the amount of fights that he has right now is better than Jaron Ennis did when he started.
That's because he signed straight with Top Rank and Boots.
But you got to have the talent, Ortiz. You have to have the talent to do that.
Boots everybody was offering Boots.
What you mean everybody was offering?
Top Rank, Rock Nation, PBC.
So why he didn't sign with it? You trying to say that's why
he signed with Cameron Duncan because Cameron Duncan gave him the upfront stuff and kept him active. Well, but he had all them offers.
Yeah, he was with Victory Boxing Promotion, Chris Menendorf too.
Yeah,
and then they got in a bond where his wings was clipped and he couldn't do anything because Cameron Duncan and Boots split. I know the whole story behind that shit.
It was Cameron Duncan and Chris Menendorf.
I mean, Chris Menendorf. What you mean, Cameron Duncan and Chris Menendorf?
They split.
Okay, yeah, they split, and Cameron Duncan tried to say we splitting. It was I'm the manager. I'm taking Boots, and Chris was like, it's a promotional deal. So what are you talking about? We still locked in legally. So whenever you fight, you got to give me a piece of the pie too. That's why he was in court. That's why he wasn't getting those fights the way he's supposed to.
Yeah, they was putting his bread in escrow until they got all that situated, and that's why on that Gillian Wallow interview had to call Boots cap because he talking about he been calling Crawford out since 2018. You wasn't even fighting in 2018. Cap. You wasn't even fighting in 2018. You refused to fight because you had a situation going on. Yeah, man.
He was calling him out. You say Cap? He called him out after the Raymond Serrano fight at the interviews and stuff like that. But does that mean what he just called him? He called Earl Spence out. He calls all of them out since he's been coming up. That's who he want to fight.
He wasn't looking to fight Crawford back then, man. Come on.
Yes, he was.
Bro, come on, man.
You always, I want to be a champion.
Yeah, my question always was, because Cameron Duncan, when he was representing Crawford,
and told Crawford that, down the line we want to fight you, and it was cool between the teams. He told him himself.
No, he said he's sleepy. He's sleepy.
I was there.
Did the team say that, or did Boots tell Crawford that to his face, like I want some work with you later on? You know what I mean? Like
they all laughed it off. We was all in the locker room, bro.
Oh, yeah, because I heard Bozy say something about that. They said somebody that was Team Ennis said that's the fight to make later on down the line. You and Boots, but I didn't hear them say Boots told Crawford. You know how when Spence and Crawford seen each other face to face and how they was woofing at each other. Like we didn't get one of those.
Hey, Harris make a good point. Ortiz.
They was cordial.
Boots can't cut off the ring.
Even if they seen each other now, it ain't no hard beef. They would say shit to each other, but it ain't no hard beef.
Hard people who? You talking about him and Crawford?
I don't know about that. I don't think it'd be like it'd get out of order. But it's like, see, but if you be in gyms and stuff, so you know how boxers is. You know they temperament, especially when they train and they cutting weight. I don't think nobody would like to hop on social media or YouTube and see someone spinning a narrative that someone's ducking them or avoiding them or scared to fight them. I don't think no fighter's scared of any fighter. You feel what I'm saying?
If Boots and Bud, if they run into each other or they around each other, it wouldn't be no hot beef.
No,
it ain't gonna be
nothing
no
like
hot
that.
beef.
No, nothing like that. But it's gonna be highly competitive, though. I think.
And somebody said Boots can't cut the ring off. He struggled. One to me where Boots messed up. He kept on looking for the knockout, but I wouldn't say he struggled because he won every round.
Well, he was chasing a fighter that wasn't even considered above average for Boots. They base your greatness off, are you fighting opposition that's average, equal to greater who you are. If you chasing a fight around the ring and doing pirouettes, it doesn't look good because Boots' skill set, like you're saying, he's supposed to have the total package.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
If you ever like sparred, fought anything, the hardest person to knock out is somebody that's not trying to get knocked out.
I mean, that's a lot of fighters that go in there and don't try to get knocked out, but they get caught.
That don't take risk.
Yeah,
if somebody's gonna tell
when you're doing your scouting report,
a long night for you, bro.
When you're doing your scout report, them Ukrainian fighters, they very agile guys, man. They always moving, man. So you gotta have a game plan.
If you did your scouting report when you seen Karen, you wouldn't have thought he was gonna move like that.
And you said Boots called Bud out in 2018?
Yes.
How?
He called him out after the Raymond Serrano fight.
I'm talking about how
how he was
why?
saying that he want to fight. He want to fight the champions. He want to fight Bud. He want to fight Earl Spence.
Yeah, that's the one fight. But he can't call somebody out when he wasn't even in the top 20.
You can still call somebody out. Does that mean you're going to potentially get them next? No, you can still call somebody out.
So it was just
I think if Boots went to top ranking, I think if he went to top ranking, he would have fought. Him and Bud would have been fought. I mean, because the narrative was there's no welterweights over there, none of the marquee names. You feel what I'm saying? So to kind of like strengthen,
at that time,
the narrative was all the welterweights with the PBC.
You feel what I'm saying? Like if Boots had allowed Cameron Duncan to take him over there and fight on the top rate platform, him and Crawford definitely would have fought. Why they chose Showbox, I have no idea. But since he wasn't signed to the PBC, and that was the narrative that was attached to Crawford when he re-signed with Top Rank, why didn't you go to PBC and get all those fights that you wanted? Well, if Boots had went and signed to Top Rank, him and Crawford would have already been fought.
We wouldn't even know that because at that time, Crawford Boots is still looked at as a prospect during most of the times. We talk about 2018 and back, he was still looked at as a prospect, not a contender. Now, if he was a contender, it would have been different. Then you could have probably said, yeah, it would have probably been possible if they both were top rank at the time.
Was he a prospect when he called Crawford out, though?
Yeah, we talking about 18. He was a prospect.
So why he call him out then, OT? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
out of
respect,
bro. Why he call him out then?
Everybody,
you bragging about he called him out, but he was a prospect, dog.
The point I always make is Boots been a worker.
But people don't take it serious. People don't take it serious though. You know what I'm saying?
But you still gonna call him out and say, no, that's who I want to fight, the champions.
That's just like Jahad Tucker calling out Xander Zayas. Both of them prospects, but the machine is behind Zayas, and he get freaking blackballed a little bit for doing that shit. I mean, that makes sense to me. Calling out somebody that's really on the same level that you are in the same promotion, not somebody that's on a whole nother level and got a championship fight lined up in a different division.
If Jahad Tucker, what is that, 154?
Yeah.
If he be like, yo, I want to fight Tim Tszyu. Don't mean anybody gonna take it serious next, but he gonna call out a champion. That's who I want to fight.
But they ain't gonna
same
be
thing like when
Lorenzo
Lorenzo Chuck
Tim
Simpson
Tszyu
was saying, I want to fight Charlos. Is he gonna fight Charlos next? No.
But y'all, you talking about like you're basically co-signing Boots saying $1 million worth of game that he was calling out Crawford back in 2018 when he was a prospect. But if Jihad calls out Tim Tszyu right now, knowing that he's not going to get the fight, who's going to brag about that? That makes no sense at all. None.
But the fact that when he's saying, "Oh, I haven't been calling y'all out and don't want you acting like I don't want to fight y'all," that's what he's saying is cap. I've been calling y'all out since 18.
But he called him out knowing he couldn't get the fight. Does it really matter the same?
And he
Does it
keep
have
on,
the same weight?
and then as he go on, I keep on calling y'all out.
Okay.
Does he say people want to say disrespectfully, have Boots get out of character, like, "Oh yeah, Terence Crawford, a bitch ass nigga, this and that"? That ain't
No, it's
Boots'
just
character.
when Jamil, Jamil asked him what would be his ideal fight. And he said Barrios and Stanthionis. He didn't say Crawford first, bro. He didn't say Crawford second. So it's some wolf tickets going on, man. Hey, YSM Sports asked him the most direct question you can ask Boots Ennis to his face. And he said Barrios and Stanthionis, man.
And how many times when he asked me, did he also say Terence Crawford?
Bro, I'm just telling you, when it came down to Boots Ennis being asked the question, you know what I'm saying? He had the opportune time to say Crawford. That's all I'm worried about. He didn't say that.
He says
said
Crawford,
Barrios and Stanthionis and the other
Spence.
guy.
He probably haven't said Spence since Crawford knocked him off, but he said Spence. He says all them names.
No. We're talking about him being asked a direct question about who he want to fight now. We're talking about. I think he had the title. I think he had the title already. Yeah, that's when he got the title, the IBF title, and he said he was gonna step on everybody, and it was over. And they said, "Who would be the ideal fight for you to fight?" He said, "Barrios and Stanthionis, man."
And he looked at Terence Crawford as going into the rematch until Earl Spence put that as eye socket still messed up.
No, it didn't have anything to do with that.
So my whole point is, bro, it don't matter what timetable he calls him out. He still calls him out, even when Terence Crawford gets annoyed because people keep on pressuring him, and he mentions, "Oh, Spence fans turning into what you call yet." And Jaron Ennis said, "Send the contract, I sign it." It's still calling out, bro. It's still saying I will fight.
Yeah, no, I think that's just attaching your name to somebody's name that's like really moving through the algorithm.
How when Terence Crawford said his name on, I be telling Boost needs to use Twitter better. All he uses is running 5 miles.
No,
it's like Thurman said back in. It's like
me being a Crawford fan. I know Terence Crawford. I know me just going off what I've seen from him historically. He's doing that because he's starting to get he's starting to really think about like getting in there and like and rumbling with Jaron, and it's because now it's like because like people challenging him. You feel what I'm saying? Like from a competitive perspective, you can get the fight with him that way either. That way too. Not going to the extent of calling him out his name or whatever the case may be. You feel what I'm saying? But just like basically saying that you're avoiding him or that you're scared of him, or just like Jaron Ennis said, in January when he said he would fight him in his living room, and then they got a call saying they can get a fight with Terence Crawford, like certain things like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like they touch home to a guy like that that's highly competitive. So you feel what I'm saying? I think doing that, I think the fight is gaining thread. My thing is like I just know if the money's there, like it's definitely gonna be a go.
Then let's hope the money's there and let's hope they fight. That's my whole thing. We can't be sitting here because this is I don't know if it's social media and all that. I remember when I was a kid, I don't care who was my favorite fighter. I wanted to see the best fight the best, even if my favorite fighter lose.
That's our era.
Yeah, if somebody don't deserve this and that, I was like, yo, this is the next kid up. This is the best, this is the best matchup. I would love to see their matches up. I want to see it. I wasn't on no. That's what I get on Crawford fans about. Like, yeah, Boots don't deserve the fight. Oh, this what? No, it's a good fight you want to see. Oh, Stylic, the dude got talent.
Nobody's saying he don't have talent. He's talking about his paperwork, his body of work. You know what I'm saying? What he's done in the amount of fights he has, man. That's what they ain't saying.
And
He don't have no talent.
and
They
now
saying his talents don't match up to Crawford.
But
now
That's what they
my
saying.
whole
His
thing
talents
is
don't match up to Crawford.
Mean Machine,
Tell him to fight
Jose
Mean Machine then.
Benavidez.
Tell him to fight Jose Benavidez then.
I mean, those guys you
See,
mentioned,
this
those guys were
now y'all just
mandatories.
throwing names.
They played the.
Them dudes don't didn't have the accolades like Boots did to get a Crawford fight.
Well, guess
But
what? You
they
talking
were
about
they were
pedigree?
mandatories though.
Yeah, you talking about pedigree. You talking
Now
about
you
everybody always bring up freaking
He
Ennis Kabalowski and what he did to
he wasn't
Crawford.
unified then. You feel what I'm saying? Like you trying to like merge two different timelines. He only had one title then. All he nobody would unify with him. So you have no choice but to defend your defend your title and fight your mandatories until you can somehow get a unification. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's two different timelines. So when people say like what it Mean Machine and them they played the WBO ranking system because
now,
they felt okay. This is our fastest way to get to a championship shot.
now I was like, screw all the positives. I was like, they gave him the IBF. He got a chance to be a 2-time undisputed. It's a great matchup. Talent wise, people should want to see it instead of trying to back it off. That's where I get on Crawford fans.
Look, my mentality in this whole deal, if you're talking about including me in that, is the reason that I'm looking at it like people when they see Canelo Alvarez, they allow Canelo to pick and choose and be selective whenever he see fit. It don't matter who it is. He can fight a John Ryder, whatever his name,
Abney Yildirim.
Yeah, Abner Yildirim. And just these fights that people ain't trying to see. He can fight Gennady Golovkin in a trilogy after 7 fights or whatever. But when it comes to Crawford finally getting to that peak, and he earned it by defeating a pound for pound fighter, now all of a sudden the rhetoric that they were sending Crawford through, who had the accolades to fight Spence, they were saying he didn't rate the fight Spence. He ain't fought nobody. He should fight a common opponent. He did it. He watches them both. They say, oh, they was gone anyway. They was in retirement. His dad didn't want him to fight. Now Boots on deck, right? Boots is a good guy. So they get behind Boots and trying to use the hand in the back method. All these damn bum-ass Crawford fans, bum-ass Spence fans, they come over here and trying to treat Ennis like they did Spence. You know what I'm saying? They trying to push him forward.
Now,
They trying to push him
Let me
forward.
speak to that.
Canelo,
Because
I always got on Canelo fans about this shit. When they be like, oh yeah, when Canelo said to the fans, yeah, Demetrius Andrade is not a great fighter. What?
Well, you gotta understand what great is. What great is, because when he had a great moment, everybody was talking. What's his great moment? He stepped in there with Benavidez and got stopped on snack. But when Crawford's on snack, they say he's juicing. They making up all these accusations. But yet they don't say nothing about Boots. They go up there and say, "Oh, Boots was on snack for one fight. He was on snacks for one fight."
My whole thing is, what you call with Canelo, Boo Boo and Canelo. They looked at Boo Boo as a threat, so they try to go off with the narrative. I was like, hold up, this man clearly ducked this man for 2 divisions and shit like that, and he fighting Leon Washes and all that, and y'all be cool, but.
I agree with that. But they say Demetrius didn't do enough to get the Canelo fight, though. Like he wasn't promoting himself. Just like I be telling y'all to come up and convince freaking Ennis to get a new freaking plan over there to promote himself.
Here's my thing about what he said about the Crawford fans. When you hear the Crawford fans say that to the Ennis fans, it's because most of them don't think that they're real Ennis fans, because most of the newfound Ennis fans now never liked Crawford, and they were former Spence fans.
Yeah,
so it's like
a lot of guys.
It's hard to decipher a real Ennis fan from the bandwagon.
You got a lot of guys now. Like they're even diminishing Crawford's win against Spence. They're saying Spence was an alcoholic, and he was done after the car accidents, even though he won 2 fights. And you unified after that. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, so you didn't even hear what I said.
You got guys trying to diminish his win
They
against
even
Errol
go.
Spence. You feel what I'm saying?
Let's
So
go back to Canelo. I don't want to see him fight Jamar Charlo. I'd rather see him fight David Benavidez.
He ain't fighting David.
yeah,
But
I
see,
don't
but see, he's
I
at
don't believe Benavidez is even deserving of that fight, but that's just my personal opinion.
How?
How?
Because David Benavidez, you had the belt 2 times and you lost it twice. That's
He didn't lose it in the ring though.
He
So
can't.
what's
He can't.
so
exactly
Green? What's the statutory limitations on that shit? Come on, man. He earned it, dog.
which is even worse. And you know, the last time he lost it, he lost it on the scale, and they actually did him a solid and placed him number 1 in the WBC at 175 pounds, and he petitioned to come back down.
So Shakur Stevenson
Here's what they did.
Then rate the fight for the WBC at the lightweight in his second fight because he lost the belts
You
on the
gotta look
scales
at
on
it.
130.
Hold on. Let me
He
say this
lost the belts on the scale
before you
at
get in
130.
Ortiz. Yeah, he lost it on the scales. They gave him the number 1 spot, but they also told him that he would get first crack at getting his title back. And then a few months later, what did they do? They randomly put the WBC title on the line against Canelo and Callum Smith. When Canelo was going after Callum Smith's WBA super title.
No, look and see that argument right there kind of correlates with this Ennis and Crawford thing, because you see the thing is David Benavidez, he never had even fought any of the top guys in the 168-pound division at that time. Canelo fought off. He hadn't even fought Caleb Plant then. Canelo fought Caleb Smith was the best 168-pounder. He won the Muhammad Ali trophy.
No, that was cap because they was calling David Benavidez the number 1 at 168. But then when the Callum Smith fight was announced with him and Canelo, that's when they started calling Callum Smith the number 1.
Now, when you go to the Ring Magazine rankings at 168 pounds, Callum Smith was the top guy. David Benavidez was not the top 168 pounder in the world.
Here's how I look at it, right? The dude just fought Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade, who was looked at as high risk, 2 back-to-back pay-per-views. What makes him not deserve a Canelo fight? He deserves a Canelo fight.
I agree. He definitely deserved the Canelo fight, man. What's the
statutory
limitations?
He's been the mandatory for well over 600 days.
Yeah. So, but if we saying that, then why isn't Dave Morrell deserving of a Canelo fight? He's got the WBA
He's not the
title.
mandatory.
He has a WBA world title.
But see, if you're talking about semantics, with David Morrell, obviously they're pushing him. They say he's 20-something, but he's probably 40-something. They pushing him for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He barely have any freaking opponents on his resume. He damn near put a guy in the grave that wasn't supposed to be in there with him. You know what I'm saying? What his resume look like?
Besides the Plant fight, him and David Benavidez record, it really don't differentiate, to be honest with you. If I'm looking at it from a broad band, the Javion Love, the Gravel fight, and then having a rematch.
He got Anthony Durrell on there. Come on,
yeah,
bro.
Come on, man. You sleeping on David Benavidez, bro.
Then Boo Boo Andrade, like he's the blown up 168 pound. He's really a 160 pounder for real.
I'm the biggest Boo Boo fan here.
The same as freaking David Benavidez.
I'm the biggest Boo Boo. I'm the biggest Boo Boo fan here. But when he signed on the dotted line to get off in the ring with David Benavidez, and I hate that he got his ass whooped. He chose that.
No, I'm not saying it's anything wrong with him. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with him doing that. But David Benavidez and David Morrell, they were supposed to fight, and David Morrell pulled out of that and went to fight Boo Boo Andrade.
No, David Benavidez pulled out of that.
Yeah, David Benavidez pulled out of Morrell fight and went to go fight Boo Boo Andrade. You feel what I'm saying?
Boo Boo had a bigger name. That's what these fighters are doing now.
See, here's the thing though.
That's what these fighters are doing now.
If Morrell and Benavidez had a fight though, and Benavidez was successful, he would have took his WBA title, which would have even made the fight with him and Canelo even more realistic from him if he wouldn't play the ranking system.
Boo Boo is a two-weight champion, bigger name than Morrell at the time, and he was still looked at as a dangerous fight, and they fought pay-per-view. Right now, I would rather see David Benavidez who versus Canelo, which is more competitive than a Jamal Charlo, who came off a long layoff and had a warm-up.
I see, man. I don't know because I look at it like this, right? Like there's no way in hell David Benavidez is getting that fight without a rehydration clause. So let's say he goes in there and Canelo beats him, whatever the case may be, then it'll be like, well, he put a high rehydration clause on me because Benavidez literally coming back in the ring probably damn near cruiserweight, if not at cruiserweight.
Then Canelo wins on the streak, but we saying the dude deserves a fight. What I'm saying is, what attached Bud, what Bud is doing, what the fans are doing, what Boots, Canelo do it all the time, and I've been getting on Canelo forever for this, especially when it came to Demetrius Andrade. He avoided it. He avoided it for 2 weight classes.
3.
I don't think that's the same. I don't think that's the same scenario though. I definitely don't think that's the same scenario.
And then you go off words. Oh yeah, high risk, low reward. Canelo was using. Oh yeah, he's not a grid fighter. You know, it's just like, dude, he's on top of the game. We like his skill set. We believe it's a good matchup. We want to see.
Okay, so you didn't hear me address that because I think that's when you hopped off. See, I'll say it again. When you hear Crawford fans say that, they're not necessarily addressing real Boots Ennis fans because it's hard to distinguish real Boots fans to the bandwagon fans because most of these bandwagon fans never liked Crawford. They're haters. They were Spence fans, and then after Spence lost, they want to hop on Boots' job and do all this stuff. So when you hear most of the Crawford fans say that, they're using their own logic against them, but real Boots fans kind of get wrapped up in it because we can't tell who's a real Boots fan and who's these Spence fans that's now trying to hop over to Spence. Hop over to Ennis.
And trust me, Spence fans used to do it too because you remember coming up, Earl Spence was quote unquote a prospect about to become a contender. He was really a prospect range. When he was a prospect, when he was fighting Chris Algieri, coming up.
Not before Chris Algieri.
Yeah, they was putting pressure on Keith Thurman. Am I right or wrong? And then Keith Thurman was making excuses of like, yo, that's not a big fight right now. I'd rather fight Danny Garcia and Sean Porter.
No. See that timeline because you're going back from the 2013 to 2015. That timeline, he was going after Floyd. Floyd used Spence's name to avoid Thurman and was like, well, you can fight him on my undercard. And Thurman was like, basically that don't make sense. I had to fight my way up to get to you, and here it is. Y'all trying to just throw this guy at me.
But Earl Spence fans was pressuring it and made a big dislike for Thurman.
They were pressuring it because at that time, remember, anything Floyd said at that time was gospel. So anything Floyd said, they were going to agree with.
But no, my point is, even they started getting behind Earl Spence. He started creating this fan base. Everybody was pressuring, and Earl Spence kept on mentioning Thurman. On Thurman's end, he looking like Danny Garcia at the time is a bigger fight for me, stuff like that. But Earl Spence fans are still mad at Keith Thurman to this day. They have a dislike towards Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman didn't give Earl Spence.
What Thurman said, was that a lie? It was a bigger fight because
I agree at the time, Danny, and it was bigger fights than Spence. But what I'm saying, but them Spence fans was getting on mad at me about Boots when I was like, when Boots got mentioned to Spence, he was doing the same thing. I was like, y'all keep on making excuses for Spence, but is mad at Thurman for doing what he did with Spence, and Spence doing the same thing he did with Boots.
And I was around during that time too, because I said, even though his his resume, Boost's resume isn't that good at the time when he was going after Spence, and everybody was saying, well, this, he was actually more proven than Spence was when they were trying to make him fight Thurman.
You can argue that because Spence had he had Algieri and Bundu.
He didn't have it at this time. He didn't have Algieri at the time.
And Bundu.
He didn't have Algieri when they was trying to get him to fight Thurman when it first started. When they was trying to pressure Thurman to fight Spence. Spence did not have Algieri or Bundu.
But I'm talking about at the time when he was going until he got in a situation with the IBF where they forced the Kell Brook situation. He had to go to fight Kell Brook. He had Bundu and Algieri.
Yeah.
So to me, that's why I was like, even resume. His resume technically wasn't a lot of big names. But
no, because what Spence did was he campaigned at 154 pounds. He had a few fights. I think he had 4, maybe 5 in his first 19 fights. He had 4, maybe 5 fights at welterweight, but most of his fights was at 154. And then around the whole Floyd type thing, when that happened, that's when he actually moved down to 147 and started really campaigning.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I honestly thought, man, that was kind of like a management type of play, man. I think the powers that be on that side was telling them, like, man, yeah, go with this guy, and build some tread for these fights later on down the line. Because honestly, man, like Spence really, if Spence had after he won the IBF title against Kell Brook, if he had went up and fought Miguel Cotto for that farewell fight at 154 pounds for the WBO, like Spence, he would have been in another stratosphere. You know what I mean? He probably would have been a pay-per-view star off of under 20 fights. You feel what I'm saying? If he had took that opportunity.
He wasn't gonna take that opportunity because after he fought Alejandro Barrera, that whole campaign at 154 was over.
Yeah, that was the first fight he made to consistently fight at 147.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I remember, but if you got a title at 147, then you campaigned at 154 pounds and you able to catch a title up there, that put that makes you in suggestion for pound, and then it's Miguel Cotto. So you're gonna do at that time, pay-per-view was still pay-per-view, so you guaranteed at least minimum 400,000 pay-per-view. You feel what I'm saying?
But at that time, that was a danger to put him up there because at that time you still had a Canelo that was either at 140 or trying to move to 160. You still had Cotto there. You had Lara.
But that
you had the Charlo brothers, Lubin.
It is a lot with that Earl Spence situation. That was a way for Golden Boy to try to lock him down. Yeah, we'll give you the Cotto fight, but you have to take a 3-fight contract with us. He's like, no, I'm dealing with Al.
Yeah.
So it's just different situations, but same thing. Like that's why I said, trust me, don't make it seem like I get on Spence fans all the time. I agree with y'all. After the Bud beat him down, they went silent. Because trust me, Spence fans is probably louder than Crawford fans to me.
No. They didn't go silent, bro. They hopped over to it may appear they went silent. They hopped over to Ennis. That's what I was trying to say. It's kind of hard to decipher a real Ennis fan like you from these bandwagon Spence fans that, oh, okay, we can't root for our guy because our guy got beat. We're gonna hop over here to Ennis and act like we've been Ennis fans this whole time. And why you ain't fighting Ennis? Why?
And here's
it's crazy.
Here's what Floyd also did to me that hurt the mindset of boxing was stamp that 0 for why he's the greatest. He always says because of 0, 0, 0, 0. I got 0 losses.
Now the 0 thing, yeah, that hurt. But to me, what really hurt boxing with what Floyd did, and this is still an argument that we're using today, is the big name. And a lot of fighters do that. It might be a fighter that don't have the name that might go out there and beat the brakes off of you, but you won't fight him. You'll go fight this guy. You know you can beat because he got a big name, and people ain't gonna call it. Oh, we know.
Yeah,
We don't know who.
been
We don't
that
know.
always
We
been
don't
you
know who
always want to
he
fight.
is, but we know who he is.
Yeah, is always that's why I said it. The bigger fights are the ones who the more people know. It's ain't always about skill. You could be the most skilled fighter. You can't fill out seats or got no brand. You're going to get avoided. That goes to my guy. And I used to tell him like, for Demetrius Andre, there's a lot of boxers, especially Black American boxers. You got to build a brand. You don't get no country behind you. Even with Boots, I get on Boots all the time. I tell Boots just luckily got a fan-friendly style, and he goes viral on the internet. That helps his brand, and he's attached to the top welterweights now. That makes his brand. I be telling Boots all the time. That's my young boy. I be telling him like, bro, you need to get the more media. You a nice kid, this and that. But that's when I said, when it comes to inside the boxing, I don't fear nothing of him because that's all he loved to do. When it comes to the outside, it's hard to get this kid to go to a baseball game, a basketball game. Everything is just hard. He'd be like, oh, I don't know. He just want to stick to the boxing gym. That's all he do.
And that's a good mindset for him to have.
But the thing is, a lot of it is about branding. But when I say from the O is, I think social media, people feel like they're more attached to fighters. Is like at 99% of all-time greats took an L. It's a sport. Earl Spence, to me, he's still going to be a Hall of Famer. He took an L. If Crawford lose, he took an L. He's still going to be a Hall of Famer. They all great fighters. But people, that's why I say people so attached where they be like, what you call it? If Boots and Crawford, whoever lose or win, they still great fighters. I want to see the top fights. I want to see the fights where I'm going to have to think about the fights. I hate seeing mismatches.
What you think the betting line gonna be on that fight? Hypothetically, if Boots and Crawford fight,
I think right now, off the the media hype and stuff like that, and coming off the Spence, I think to the media is going to be Crawford will be a slight favorite on the betting odds.
All right, so if this fight do happen, because it's getting more realistic, because I see Crawford. He was mentioning Boots earlier with somebody that he like to go back and forth with on Twitter. Like, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get his full credit for getting him out the way? If he get in there,
if he was to beat Boots, yeah, he would get credit.
Yeah, we don't want the excuses. We don't want the he didn't have enough experience or none of that. Like if he fight him and he handle him in spectacular fashion, like he been doing at 147 pounds or possibly 154 pounds. Because I did hear Boots say he would come up to 154 pounds and fight him also.
Here's what I get from Ortiz. If Boots beats Crawford, Ortiz would be one of the people that give him the credit, and I think real Boots fans would give him the credit. Who's not gonna give him the credit is what I mentioned earlier, is these Spence fans. Well, these so-called Spence fans that's done moved over to Ennis. They're not gonna give him credit because they're always gonna come up with some new excuse.
Well, I got to disagree with you on that because see, like I pay attention to this YouTube stuff, like just this primarily when I got a chance to. Most of the Spence fans that's nomads now and have nowhere to go because a lot of the former pro Spence channels, that they crippled and
they over there in Philly, bro.
And deactivated. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on, Archbishop. Now they're on the couple Philly channels. They're on the manager guy. They're on his platform, and they're on YSM's platform now. So that they scattered out and trying to find new places to nest their hive.
And they're nesting into Boots' hive. That's what I'm saying. If Crawford was to beat Boots, they would be the ones
making excuses.
making excuses. Not the real Ennis fans. Those clowns would be the ones making the excuses. So yeah.
Yeah, that goes to my point. If they get it on and he beats them in spectacular fashion, just give him his
like
credit.
going to the YSM, you know, the comments and stuff like that, but like the people who you mainly hear him speak to is different because like me, like personally, people like me and probably a lot of people you see that interview, especially in the same gyms, and like, you know, if it's a Philly fighter or fighters around the age, like I knew Boots since he was like 9-10 years old. So I told people, like, I seen this coming. Like, all right, I knew him 9-10 years old. Then I tell you a story. I'm not going to say the fighter, but the fighter's a real good fighter. And at the time, he was getting ready, like he was at his top, getting ready to, you know, make his like title run and stuff like that from Philly.
Yeah.
So I go to the gym. Boots is 15, 16 years old. And I go to the gym. And then Boots is sparring him. Another Philly fighter, y'all can take a guess. He's a weight class above or two from.
Bro, I already know who you're talking about. You're talking about J-Rock.
But when I seen it, how could I say it? It was like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, think about it. I haven't seen the kid since he was like 11, 12. Then when I seen him at 15, 16, I was like, hold up. This is some other shit. And then I was there when he sparred like Blair and all them. But that's when I knew, like, yo, this kid is something special.
And it's crazy.
What was I wrong?
What?
J-Rock.
No, I don't want to air out the name.
The name you're talking about is
That's my
J-Rock.
guy, you feel me?
He ain't trying to give out the name, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
ain't
saying,
gonna-
you brought up, and I'm trying to let you know I know about boxing shit over there in Philly too. You talk about J-Rock, Julian Williams?
that's my guy, you know, but
But
Boots
you
was
saying
15.
Boots fucked them up in sparring though.
Yeah, like 15 years old.
That's okay.
That's cool because you've been rocking with Boots just as long as I've been rocking with Crawford.
And
man, I
Crawford,
get it.
same thing. I
I
knew
get it.
Crawford, and when I first met Crawford, I was probably like early 20s.
You see, one thing I'll say about the Philly cats, when it comes to boxing, they will, pretty much stand behind and vouch for their peoples.
Yeah.
Unlike the South, I don't get what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you try to support them, but you know what I'm saying? Anything change their mind about anything.
Like, for example, right, Hank Lundy, my guy, but will anybody tell me that Hank was going to beat Terence Crawford? Hell no.
Well, he put up a good promo though. He talked enough trash too.
No,
Hank.
Hank. One thing about it, to believe in the heart and stuff like that. Hank in his prime was a problem. When his prime,
he was.
He was a problem. Hank could fight. In his prime, could fight, and he has a lot of heart, mouth, this and that. But in reality, like, I would never told you that.
Hank was a decent fighter, man. He was a decent fighter, but he ain't never been on the level of Bud. He ain't never been on that level. So now I want to ask.
I knew Bud was going to be big, walk him down. Hank might, be able to box for like 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds, and it was going to be curtains. I knew that shit was coming.
Man, listen, I got to see. Was that when he was 16? I forgot. But I got to see him versus Ray Robinson. The fight. Crawford.
You talking about the amateurs? I wasn't there, but I heard about it.
Yeah. So that's how long I've been rocking with Crawford. So it's like I know how you feel about Boots. That's the same way how I feel about Bud.
And to me, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with you, because even Bud in the amateur, to me, Bud got way better as a pro.
My thing is,
it's some of them fights in the amateurs where he got robbed, Ray Robinson. But yeah,
because who used to dog Bud all the time? Well, it was mainly sparring. They used to match him up at the Colorado Springs. was I don't know if y'all know about him. Carl Dargan, Dynamite. Dynamite was tough as an amateur. Like back in the day.
Go ahead.
Yeah, back in the day, if you would have asked me like who would have been the best coming out of Philly, that boosting them was like little kids and stuff like that. I would have definitely said Dynamite, but get caught up in the streets and you want to be like a celebrity before boxing, caught up to him. But in the amateurs, shit. But yeah, he used to always dog Bud in the amateurs, but it shows when somebody wants it more and stuff like that. They grew up.
But
I wanted to speak on the point when y'all was saying how if Bud fight Boots, he's not gonna get the credit. Am I correct about that?
No, that's not how we saying it.
What I was saying is if he go in there and he handle him in spectacular fashion, like the streak that he's been on, just make sure he gonna get his full credit for doing it.
And I said that he would get the credit from the real Ennis fans. It'd be the fake bandwagon fans that will be making excuses.
Okay, cool. And I always like to put it out there from the beginning. Hey, I picked EJ to beat Bud. I was wrong about it. I ain't got no problem about being wrong about it because I rock with both of them. At the same time, if Bud go out there and beat Boots, all credit has to be given. This is one of them situations when we seen Floyd go put hands on Canelo. Canelo was supposed to be the next thing and end up being the next thing. But at the same time, I look at it the same way. And it's interesting because I agree to some degree that a lot of these fans, they're not going to give Bud the credit that he deserves. They're not going to do it. I understand.
Yeah,
but at the
I
same
see people making that correlation between Floyd and Canelo. But you have to understand, as great as Floyd is, him and Terence Crawford are two totally different fighters. Two totally different fighters in mentality and battle tactics. But most of the fighters that's been in the ring with Terence Crawford that he beat, they're not the same fighters after that. They don't have the ability to get better.
But that's not that's not. I'm not disagreeing with that. All I'm saying is if Bud and I look at the Bud and Boots fight the same way I looked at the Canelo and Floyd fight. Although I agree with you, a lot of times they're not going to have that capability to get better. But when you share a ring with a fighter like Bud, then you're gonna get better. You have no choice but to get better by sharing the ring with that brother. So, I mean, I think Boots win, lose, or draw.
Right side. What fighter do you know that Terence Crawford and fought? Because he's knocked out everybody since Obama was the president. What fighter do you know that
Come
actually?
on, man.
What fighter do you know that's actually got better after they been in the ring with him?
What fighter got better?
I'm just saying from that standpoint, because he's on Errol Spence was his 11th knockout. So if he go in there and and Jaron Ennis is the 12th, do you see Jaron Ennis being able to bounce back thoroughly from that?
Yes, he's young enough to bounce back from that.
Absolutely. I think Bud. I think Boots will bounce back from it if he loses that fight. Absolutely. I think the brother from Ukraine, he got better after fighting Bud. Post-style. I think that there are things. There are people out there who get better. Not everybody's going to, especially what I'm saying. If you get hurt, I think Green Machine. What's his name? Kavaliauskas. I think he became a better fighter by getting beat by Bud. I think he had some good showings after that, and he won some fights after that. So all I'm saying, yeah, I do. There are individuals, but an individual like Boots, in my opinion, I think Boots is special. At this current moment in time, if he get in the ring with Bud, I got Bud winning. At the same time, I don't think that that's a horrible stain on Boots' career or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that Boots can and has the opportunity to provide a lot of resistance to Bud. So I think it's a good fight. I do have Bud, but I think it's a good fight. And so I don't, but I also don't think it ruins Boot's career, win, lose, or draw. I don't think it ruined his career.
I agree with you, Doug, because if Boots win or Crawford wins, it's whoever loses, it's not gonna ruin their career. That's this new era of fans that think like that.
That's where
If
I was going.
you're always gone, you done.
Yeah, that's where I was going to. That's the only thing that to me where Floyd to me kind of ruined the sport by putting everything to that. Oh, now these newer era fans see one loss. Oh yeah, he's never been that good or he's not that good. 99% of great fighters,
Lost.
99% of all the famers have losses. Muhammad Ali.
Everybody,
Yeah, but I
everybody
think
lost. Everybody
YouTube
lost.
has intensified
So that's where
has intensified a loss, a fighter taking a loss, and depending on the type of
and to be
fashion
honest with you,
that he losing. I'm gonna keep it real, even within the African American community, because see, when you bring up Canelo and Floyd, the Mexican community, they don't lose interest in their Mexican guy if he takes a loss. You feel what I'm saying? Like they're there to uplift him. It's not the same. And you know, as far as African American fighters,
and
it's civil war. You feel
then
what I'm saying?
also it's like
Damn, that's crazy. You say that. That's crazy. Go ahead. My bad.
how can I explain it? Even undefeated fighters, let's go Floyd. None of his fights, like he still had fights where he wasn't perfect.
Yeah,
That
that's a
he went
fact.
through
That's
tough
a
and
fact.
hard fights.
Yeah, he has some
Crawford,
hard fights.
everybody had is just that's when they brought the Karen. I was just like, shit. If people look at that as a hard fight, that's actually a great hard fight because the dude didn't lose a round.
But at the same time, the thing is when you look at the greats, and like my brother just brought up, when he said how Floyd has kind of changed this thing by you got to be quote unquote undefeated, that means so much. When you look at a Teofimo Lopez, the man got a loss, but at the same time, they still gonna support him.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Tio. I'm a fan, but at the same time, I was a fan of Muhammad Ali. I was a fan of Sugar Ray. All these dudes had losses.
These new
A
era
loss, a
boxers,
loss
though,
does not kill your career. It
new
doesn't
era
kill your
yeah.
boxers,
career.
once you get
That's a
recent,
fact. Like I said,
what
I'm a Canelo fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you really look at it, it's almost as if Bivol didn't even win the fight against him. You feel what I'm
They
saying? Because
still they got Canelo over
it
Bivol on
didn't
the pound
change.
for pound ranking, and I'm like, how
It
you
didn't
got the
change
dude who
anything for
beat him?
Bivol. You feel what I'm saying? Like Bivol beat him clearly. It really didn't change anything for him.
Nothing,
to
nothing
to
changed.
these
But the reason
to
why
the
he was
new age
above him,
fans, you as good as your last fight. So say right now, Crawford, he's on top of the chain. He went and destroyed Errol Spence. If he was to come back and had a tough fight, you'll see people roll down on him. That's
But
just how boxing is. It's it's
but
where
this is why I sit here and argue with niggas when they say belts don't matter. No, legacy matters. Belts are a part of legacy. Legacy matters in the sport. And once you denigrate legacy and make it all about money, then we're gonna get the raggedy ass fights that we starting to get. And so I don't understand how you could be a boxing fan and say some of these things, especially when you're speaking on legacy. It doesn't make sense.
and another person was undefeated. One of my favorite fighters, Andre Ward. He been dropped what 3 times in his career.
yeah,
Who cares?
Is that
No,
that
and
my whole thing is
not
nobody
saying to your point, not saying to your point. I'm just saying he got
no
knocked.
like
He got up.
the same that's the same thing like how most fans like not to get on Crawford fans every time they get oh yeah he didn't look good against Karen this and that. I was like people forget that Darnell Boone dropped Andre Ward when he was coming up and then he got dropped with a tough fight against Kovalev his first time around. It happens. Everybody
Donnell Boone was way more experienced than the average fighter too. He's a
Hey,
journeyman.
Darnell,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah but people go it happens. People get tough fights.
Yeah,
Floyd will tell you his toughest fight was the Drunken Master.
yeah, Augustus. Yeah,
hey,
So
Emmanuel Augustus, that man, hey, that that man can
who
fight. He can fight. Hey,
yeah
although
but
he had what
he didn't always have that
13,
style though.
14 losses. So go ahead, go ahead.
He didn't always have that style though. He used to fight, fundamentally, and Then he picked up that drunken master
Er,
style.
but
I
that
don't know
was
how he
early
did
in
it.
his career, Scotty. That was early in his career.
But
What was
what I'm
early?
saying is nobody is perfect. Even Crawford. Crawford been hurt. He been who it don't matter to me. Nobody's gonna be perfect. Even right now, Boots got on a high horse right now. People criticizing them to a different level because they see a spectacular talent, and right now he hasn't lost a round. But even down the line, if he loses a round, so what? Like Karen, they was like, it's a hard fight to the average person. If that was, say, Virgil Ortiz fighting Karen and the same thing happened, they would have been like, oh, Virgil Ortiz had a great fight. He won every round. He just held on a different people got different expectations for him.
So
Yeah,
let me.
they
Can I ask
should
a
have.
question? Can I
Go
ask a
ahead.
question to? And because hey, well, for Bud right now, what fight do y'all want to see him in? What if you got your top three? If Bud when Bud fighting next, it seemed like they saying that the EJ fight is gonna be off. So Errol Spence is not an option for y'all right now. What
Canelo
would
Charlo Zoo.
there you go? Canelo Charlo Zoo. What y'all? What, anybody else?
Me would be Boots. The Canelo got me iffy because he's going 3 weight classes up.
You got
Then
one more. Are you saying are you putting Canelo on the list or not?
no, that's why right now I'll probably put Canelo. That's why we was talking about earlier. To me, but options is very limited.
It's
So
like
what?
it's like
What? Hold on. What,
he can
name
go two
name the
divisions.
top three for you. Name the top three for you though. Name the
First
top
one is
three options.
Boots.
Boots.
Second, I gotta really think about it. Maybe Canelo.
Okay.
Third, what about uh
He's trying to go through some names in Philly and shit.
not even feel. I'm just trying to go through names. Like, let's say Canelo 3 weight class up. That's a big fight, but
He gonna
would it
come up
sound
here and say
crazy if
Ray
I would have loved to
Robinson.
see a matchup with
But
like
you already put
Bud versus?
you already said Bud. You said you said Boots and Canelo. You put those two
No,
on the
but
list already.
would I sound crazy if I would have been like, I'd love to see a matchup with Bud versus Boo Boo?
Andrade.
Yeah.
What does he get out of that though? Y'all
What? Yeah,
forgetting. That's what I'm saying.
I don't
Like,
even
what does
see
he
how you
get
even
out of
I
get
it?
to
don't
that point. I
I'm
don't
talking
see
about as a
that.
boxing fan, just something I would love to see in the ring.
I guess why.
I speak more so of what he stands to get from it, far as his legacy. Since he only
Oh,
said
you
he
talking
only got
about
like 1 or 2 more fights
yeah,
remaining.
you talking
So
about legacy wise, if you talking about just straight legacy and all that, if you talking about we ain't talking about just eyes of wanting to see it, just a boxing that's
No,
talking about
we
overall.
talking about him finding the best competition he can fight to solidify, which his legacy is already solidified. But for him to make money and to, I mean, and to continue to solidify his legacy, to put him into ATG status, that's the fights we talking about.
I mean, he already up there in the ATG status, accolade wise and stuff like that.
I'm just asking about the. I don't
Yeah,
disagree with it.
like
I don't
all
disagree.
right, if you want to
I'm
go
just asking about the fight.
right now, his main what you call would be because Tim Tszyu got third, man. I would have put that third would be right now Canelo and Boots. That's his main, like to me, that has you that catches that catches outside the box and has some masses on it. But I was just saying other fights that I would love to see. Like if we talk about him going to Canelo, I would love to see him fight like that. Be like, yo, this is a great fight. This and that. That you gotta think would be like people like Andrade and
You
who
would
else that
rather
I
see
can
him
see?
fight if you want to go to the Boo Boo route. You would rather see him fight Boo Boo versus him fighting Benavidez. You'd rather see that?
Who then Crawford fighting Benavidez?
You brought you brought Boo
Yeah,
Boo up.
I'd rather see Crawford fight Boo Boo because I think Benavidez is just too damn big.
All right, here's my three. And I'm going off of like who's available. So right now it will be Boots, Canelo, and Jamel. Those are the ones that's available. That's what I would rather see.
Yeah, I agree. Those were my three as well. Boots, Jamel, you know what I'm saying, and Canelo. If he can get the Canelo fight, I don't mind it. I don't think he will get the Canelo fight. We know how Canelo moves, and so I don't think he'll get that fight. But because I don't think he get that, then either Mel or Boots, I'm happy with either of those fights. But they got to make sense for Bud. They got to make sense, and
It's just amazing, listening how, cause Ortiz on the panel. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I can see why he's standing up for his peoples. You know what I'm saying? But man, when it came to a Crawford Spence debate, I just still remembered, like, with all the accolades, they weren't giving Crawford no credit for nothing. But yet, Boots get all the credit. Y'all want to see him fight. If you had 3 fights for Crawford to fight, y'all saying Boots. How does he do just because he got a title? Like, how does he just jump over all the criticism Crawford was getting, and it doesn't even pertain to him? That's just crazy, man.
Hey,
That let's go.
WCS, man, you know how this is like
Let
because we bathed in the fact that Errol Spence fans have to sit there and watch the T-Mobile massacre as you coined it. You feel what I'm saying? Like that, for me, that's really why I want to see it because I bet anything on Terence Crawford in that fight at 147, 154 pounds, whichever one they do that. If they can make the fight, I got everything on
I mean, I
Crawford.
feel you on that.
You feel
I
what I'm
mean, I
saying?
feel you.
let
It's really only for bragging rights, to be honest with you.
let
Like,
let let's exit all the accolades, this and that. We talking about going in that ring, pure talent, and all that as a boxing guy, this and that. People
uh-huh.
want to see that because you gotta think about the skills, the switch hitting, the explosiveness. People want to see that. That's more of an exciting fight. And people looked at me crazy when I was like, Bud and Boots will be a better fight than Earl Spence and Boots because of everything they bring to the table. The reason when people interviewed me, I said 50-50 because I was like, to me, Earl has a work rate. Bud has more skill sets to his package. And I was like, if Bud don't, which Bud did, if you go back to the interview, I told people, only way Earl wins and Bud can't let it if Earl starts off fast. If Bud starts off fast, it's a long night for Spence. And then
but
when I was there and I
Nah,
seen him go right to that southpaw position, I knew it was going to be curtains because he was already comfortable.
nah. Hold on
this
before
was
you say
the
that.
thing. This was the thing about it. When we all looked at the fight, like I said, I picked EJ. I said this is my whole conversation about it. I said, damn, Bud starts slow. He want to download information. EJ gonna come out there. He gonna have a better jab. I was wrong about all that shit. When I see, and I'm gonna tell you, when I seen Bud using that shotgun jab on his ass, I was like, oh, this shit finna get ugly.
Okay.
And one thing
This
about
shit
I'm
finna
gonna
Bud,
get
say
ugly.
this. I'm gonna say this because when Bud moved up to soon as he moved up to 147, and I said this about Thurman and when it came to Thurman and Spence, like they're not gonna beat him. He gonna walk through him. And I said, what was this? This was after the I'm on record. Y'all can go back and look at this stuff through the comments and stuff. Well, you ain't gonna find the comments because that's be too much looking. But I said after the Horn fight that Bud would stop Spence in 9. I didn't put the TKO onto the thing until what 2 weeks before the fight. But I was like, yeah, he'll stop him in 9. And even though I was on BFTB's channel a lot, because we was cool back then, he would throw subtle shots at me and everybody else. Oh, you know, they cool. They bud dick riders, but they cool. They cool people. Everybody would say I was, you know, a fanboy. I'm capping. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, bruh, it ain't what you think. And the whole starting out slow, it's not that these starting out slow. Spence don't even start out slow. That's just what they do. And I also said back then, it's about IQ. Spence don't have that ring IQ like everybody thought he had.
I wouldn't
I
say he
agree.
don't got the ring IQ because Spence got a lot of fundamentals and stuff like that. The thing is, Spence never had to deal with adjustment. He used to be in.
I think Bo Mac said it perfectly, and I hate just being truthful about the situation. I think Bo Mac said it perfectly. EJ, he done fought the same way since the amateurs, and because we understand this, and it's interesting when you listen to Bo Mac and Bud talk to each other in the corner because you understand that everything Bo Mac know, Bud know. You know what I'm saying? And so it's very interesting listening to it. But I mean, I think that's what it really came down to. They understood what he was going to come with, and they knew what they had to do to be effective. And it wasn't. It didn't have to be many instructions. One of the other things that I always thought about, and that I said, I thought that Derrick James would be a better corner man than Bo Mac was. I was wrong about that, and the reason I was wrong about it is because the way Bo Mac did it is so special because your corner man and your fighter done figured each other out, and we know we see things very similar. If I bring something to you, it's because I don't think you're seeing it. But when he can sit there, when Bo Mac can sit there and say he'll switch when it's time. When he can sit there and make those type of comments, you understand that the fighter and the trainer are already lockstep. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that I definitely missed that about them. I definitely missed that.
And I think I said this on your channel before. WCS. I don't know if it's on yours or if it was on damn. I don't want to mention other names, so I'll just mention yours. But I said when it came to Derrick James that I don't want to sound racist, but it's because it's not a racist comment. He was nothing but a black Eddie Reynoso.
Why you say that?
I mean, look. Why I say that is they both
you put his knowledge as far as a trainer on the same level as Reynoso.
It's like because let me see. How can I better explain this? When both of their fighters had adversity, they had no answers for it. Like when
Are you talking about one fight based off Bivol?
No, the Bivol fight. He also did Shakur versus Valdez.
Oscar Valdez.
Yeah, it's like no answers. No answers.
But we've seen him have answers in other fights. We've seen.
I mean, sometimes it depends on the fighter. If you got somebody that's just not going to beat the person, you could say whatever, and it's just like even with Bomac when he had Jamel Herring against Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah,
he could. All he kept on telling Jamel Herring was to pressure him.
But it didn't matter what he told him because Shakur was just the better fighter. You know what I'm saying? So there comes times where you have a lesser fighter than the individual that y'all are against. So I don't think that goes into training.
But they train their fighters the same way.
But at the same time, when I listen, and I agree with you, I do agree with you to some degree. At the same time, I done heard Derrick James give instructions and say, keep your back off the damn rope, and this fighter get his ass whooped because he ain't keep his ass off the ropes. You know what I'm saying? And then in the next fight, say it again.
To me, I don't really think that's giving instruction. Like to give somebody instruction, tell them,
what you tell them
on staying off the ropes. Don't just say stay off the ropes.
the instructions you give to a fighter is what they need to do to be successful in the fight. If you're gonna have your backs on the ropes, we understand that you're not gonna have success in that fight. So that is instruction. I mean, instruction don't have to always be, once again, like we talked about with Bomac. When Bomac go in there and be like, hey, take your time. When Bomac get an instruction that he get a bud, it's because him and Bud got that understanding. Whereas I don't think that Derrick James and in that situation, Charlo had that same Jamel against Brian Castano. I believe that was the fight, but he didn't have, and that was the draw actually. But he didn't have that same understanding. So it goes into how much you work with a fighter, how much you understand the fighter, and what it seems like is that and maybe Bud is the Tom Brady, right? Bud is the Tom Brady. He one of them individuals where Bill Belichick really can't fuck with you, but I fuck with everybody else. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, but look, if you, like I said, like I classify myself like I'm a Bud Crawford fan. Like, you feel what I'm saying? You can call me biased or whatever the case may be. Like, when he said he the best fighter on the planet, like he don't just mean boxing. He mean, like, if I come in this ring and I decide that I want to fight you, and we gonna throw all the schematics and all the technical shit with boxing, and we gonna get in here and fight. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's what type of event he gonna turn it into. He even said it before the Spence fight. He like, I was just planning on going in there and fighting him. And Bomac and them like, no, just box. Just stick to the game plan. You feel what I'm saying? You got fighters that their instincts take over when they in the ring. You feel what I'm saying? Some fighters, they're coached exceptionally well, but when you get in there with a guy that's coached exceptionally well, and his instincts are able to kick in, and he can see stuff that they didn't even cover during the camp, or like battle strategies that they got mapped out, and those instincts take over. Those are the guys that you can't beat. Those are the guys that if you hit them, because I hear a lot of the arguments. People say, "Oh, well, Gamboa, he hurt Crawford, and Kavalaskis hurt him, and this and that." Well, what happened to those guys after he quote unquote got hurt? They
Bud
got
turned up.
stopped.
He turned up.
Yeah,
To me, the
they
only
got
guy that
stopped.
really hurt him was Gamboa.
But exactly what you just said, and that's the specialness of Bud,
Yeah.
and it's one of the things that I always say. Before the EJ fight, I really didn't take it into consideration the specialness, and watching that
Yeah.
man, I agree with you. I agree. Even in the EJ fight, he beat EJ worse than he beat anybody else. That's a fact. He
Yeah,
beat that man worse than he beat
but you know
anybody
what I
else.
was, Dub, because as I was saying earlier, these fighters that they pay attention to, what's being said about them on YouTube and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying?
I don't think that's what it was, though. I don't think it was anything but her. I think it goes into the specialness of him. The better the he gonna beat you. He gonna beat you. But the better the competition, the better he gonna look. And I think that's what it really comes down to with him. And
A lot.
It
But going
it,
back to
it,
trainers, right?
it really
Like,
come down to this. They've
here's
been
what I
watching.
say. There's certain trainers that I feel like is good that could, bring up a fighter and, teach somebody straight fundamentals and stuff like that. There's certain trainers for people. To me, one of the most overrated trainers was Virgil Hunters, but Andre Ward, one of the greatest fighters. The rest, to me, as a trainer, was he good? No, I know people who went over there, and to me, most people be like, nah, he ain't really a good trainer. To me, when I see even when there's stuff in the corner, I'd be like, huh, like what the hell? Bomac, to me, he looks good with Bud, but when I seen him with like Keyshawn Davis and all them, they look basic to me.
but then you go look how he when he had Kell Brook over there. I mean,
You mean Amir Khan?
oh, Amir
Amir
Khan,
Khan.
excuse me, not Amir Khan, Amir Khan. At the same time, all I'm saying is that uh, Bomac is a special trainer, but there are times where you're a special trainer to a special fighter. And once y'all click, you know what I'm saying? Bomac resurrected Jamel Hand career, Uh, he did it to a couple fighters. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I
Bo Mac
Like
got
you
a
know
team
who
over there though,
you
man.
know who I
Like Bo
witnessed
Mac,
like
he
and
don't even take credit.
that's
He
the
don't
other
take
thing.
credit for everything
Yeah,
for
That's the
you
other
got
everything that
thing.
they
He
was
got
able
you
to
got
accomplish.
Red, you
Like
got
that,
Bernie, and all them.
yeah, you got
yeah,
Red,
absolutely,
Saul, like
absolutely.
that's a team effort. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Agree.
you gotta.
And that's the special part about it though, is because you do have a team over there, and like you said, Red. What's the Spanish brother name? I don't know his name. I always fuck his name up.
Saul.
Okay, you got Red, Saul, and then you got, and I mean Bernie. I don't know how much he really do over there, but hey, you got
like
a team over there, and man,
yeah,
even
there's
brother,
certain trainers. Some trainers are good for the corner. Some trainers are good for game planning. It depends. Some trainers are good for building up fighters, but can't work the corner.
facts. Uh,
So
uh,
it depends on the situation. Like for example, one person I know was good for game planning that I partners with me was Nazem Richardson. Rest in peace. Even with
Yeah,
Shane Mosley, he played it. He said Floyd dips back. When he dips back, that check hook is going to be there. That's when you throw it. He actually caught him with it.
it
But
hurt him. It
yeah,
hurt him.
Floyd to me was the better fighter. You couldn't no
Facts.
way. It's sometimes about the fighter, but he had the good game plan. He studied that. He studied that move Floyd do. This is when you're going to have to throw this. When he does that move, when you see it, throw it.
His whole downfall in that fight is he went away from the game plan. It's like you touched Floyd and you threw your game plan away because you knew you could hurt him. But
He
one
punched
thing one
himself
thing
out and
about
got tired and
one
got
thing about
excited.
no one thing about Floyd is you touch him with that shot, you're not
You're
about to
not
touch
gonna
him
touch him
again with it.
again. You're
You
not gonna
remember
touch
what
him
Nazim
again.
said? People used to look at Floyd as a nut. He was like, once you touch him, oh, you gonna let a fire to drag his ass because he gonna come and fight. After that, Floyd walked Mosley down the whole time.
But at the same time, he come fighting very strategically, and you like my brother just said, you're not gonna hit him with the same punch, and so even when he coming to you, he's still being defensively responsible, and he has some of the greatest defense we done seen in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, so it's hard. That's why I was like, it's hard. Like, um, when it comes to Bomac, right? I think he's great for Crawford. They got a gel together. They know each other, stuff like that. They got a gel together. It's an unbreakable bond. You got some bonds, but when I look at Bomac, when he's fighting, I look at the stuff he says in the corner when he's fighting. When he had Jamel Herring fighting Shakur, to me, is Jamel Herring going to beat Shakur? No, but it's some instructions that is like take technical instruction. Yo, when Shakar do this, hit him to the body. He guys kept on telling Jamel Herring, put the pressure on his ass. It's time to put the pressure on him. And Jamel Herring just getting hit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he
So
was because he wasn't go. They know he wasn't go out boxing court. Like, so you
yeah,
got to make it. You got to make it a physical and gritty fight. Like Shakur was already like he had already caught his rhythm. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's
there's
some
certain
fighters
stuff.
like once they catch like once they catch a rhythm. You feel what I'm saying? Like unless you make it a gritty fight where you grabbing, touching, you hitting to the body, doing dirty boxing, like you're not gonna be able to get them off they dean to a certain extent. Like they gonna be in rhythm for the rest of the fight, and it might end with you getting the TKO or getting knocked out.
But and then I look at when I look at the stable. To me personally, like Bud, great fighter. What's his other fighters? Keyshawn Davis. I'm kind of skeptical on Keyshawn. I don't think he is what people think he is. I think
Yeah,
he's very
Keyshawn's still a Keyshawn's
yeah
he's still a prospect.
yeah.
He's
And
still
then
working his way up.
what's the other guy?
They got his brother Kelvin Davis at 140.
Hold on, real quick. What y'all think he do against Pedraza, Keyshawn?
That's gonna be a good fight, but he'll beat Pedraza at this stage.
Does he
He
stop him?
should.
He should.
I didn't.
No,
That ain't what I didn't ask if he should. I say, does he?
no, I wouldn't be surprised if go decision.
Yeah, that fight might go the distance.
I ain't. Hey, I got Keyshawn by stoppage, man. I believe in that young brother. I believe in him, so I got a stoppage.
I need to see more. People might look at me biased for this, but I probably want to see in the gym. He even as a pro, he's not going to beat Andy Cruz.
Hey, Brad, but hold on, you from Philly, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another fight in that stable. I mean, hey, we expect that
Andy
now.
Cruz training in Bozy Gym and
Yeah.
Boost Gym. So I understand why you say that. I understand it.
No,
But
me.
hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I think it's a different fight, especially with Andy Cruz fighting 10-round fights already. I think it's a different fight in the pros than it was in the amateurs. And
Andy Cruz nice though, man. I ain't like
I like Andy Cruz. I'm a fan of
Andy
Andy
dumb
Cruz.
nice.
I'm a fan of Andy Cruz. I'm a fan of him. I love watching that man box. At the same time, um, I don't think it's as easy work as people want to make it seem to be with Keyshawn Davis in a pro fight. I don't believe it's that easy. I don't believe it's that easy.
Yeah,
And go
amateurs
ahead.
are not the same as the pros, but that's a fight I would love to see.
No,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
me really getting to be around him and really watch Andy Cruz box and stuff like that. I was like, from what I seen, the dude, to me, when it comes to
Cruz is
amateurs,
nice.
he's gonna be good. Like, yeah, he's
But
nice, and
have you
what
been
you gotta
around?
keep it real. I was like,
Have you been around Keyshawn like that?
yeah, I've been around Keyshawn twice. I seen him work in the top rank gym a couple times.
So you've been around Keyshawn twice, but I know you. If you're in Philly, you done been around Andy much
Yeah,
more than
Andy's in the
Keyshawn,
gym
correct?
now, so yeah, I've been around. When he first came in, I was around him a month straight. I haven't been in the gym in a couple weeks, but I went back like Wednesday.
And
Yep.
all I'm saying is that you got a bias, and I ain't
No,
mad at
I'm not biased at all. It ain't like me. Even like when it comes to boxing, I'm not biased at all. That's why I was like that. If I was biased, I would have been telling people Ink Lundy was going to give Terence Crawford work and
no, no,
stuff
no.
like that.
I
No, I'm
ain't
not
saying you.
biased.
I ain't
Me and
saying you
Andy
that
Cruz,
biased.
we're
You,
recently just getting cool. Like that ain't my like long term friend. We don't even hang out or whatever outside the
no,
gym.
nothing.
But
Hold on. Nothing like that. That ain't what I'm saying. That ain't what I'm saying.
no,
All I'm
well,
saying.
what
All I'm
now?
saying is this. All I'm saying is because you done be, and it may not be a conscious bias. I ain't saying you consciously trying to be biased, nothing like that. I'm saying you done been around Andy Cruz more than you done been around Keyshawn, and when you see the specialness in Andy Cruz, there's an affinity there. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad. I'm just saying that there is a bias as well that comes with that affinity. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you're.
It's only a few. It was only a few things that Andy just needed to get acclimated to, like far as like being in the pros, like his feet, like he got some of the best feet. Like I seen like at that level, like in the Olympics. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Bro.
but like the thing in boxing is like you fight with your feet, man. Like far as that foot movement, like he got that shit. He got that shit down to a T. Like now you see he doing a lot of catching and shooting. You feel what I'm saying? If you watch his last fight, that stoppage that he got, you feel what I'm saying? Like you was
What
just telling
was his
just
last fight?
certain things he added to
What
his tool belt.
was his last fight? His first fight?
No, that was the
That
second fight,
was
but he
second.
Oh,
already fighting 10 round.
My
He
bad.
already fighting 10 rounders
No,
though.
but
Like
I'm just saying, like,
Second fight.
when it comes, I knew he was going to be good. I knew from the amateurs, this and that. I always said, like, yeah, it'd probably be different, Keyshawn. But when I go on to being around, I'm starting to see him. Now I'm seeing him with the pro game. Like, he's starting to sit on his punches. He going orthodox southpaw, setting traps, fading. That's why I was just like, when I see Keyshawn, I seen Keyshawn, I seen him work a couple times, and I watch his fights. I seen him fight person time, I watch his fights. To me, Keyshawn, even though be Olympian, I think he's good, but I don't think he's special. Now, Shakur and Andy Cruz, that might be different. Now I'm thinking like, that's a tough fight. That's good, going to be a good fight. But from what I've seen, he's going to give to me Keyshawn. He's going to give Keyshawn problems, even as a pro.
Hey,
no,
Ortiz.
I didn't heard that. I didn't heard that back and forth though, because a lot of people really they real big on Abdullah Mason for real. That they think Abdullah like probably like
I like
the
I
next
like
big
young boy. He can
prospect from
fight.
from the from a skill standpoint.
I
You
got
feel
I
what I'm
got
saying?
I got Abdullah over all of those guys. I do. I do.
Yeah,
I
like I
agree with
said,
you.
now I know Abdul and them, like you feel what I'm saying, like he nice for real, like he really ain't shown like all his capabilities, like
He can't. I seen Abdullah when I was out Vegas when they first went to Jay Prince. And then he also came to Philly and worked out in the gym. I like Abdullah. He's more skilled. To me, he's more talented than Keyshawn.
Yeah, I done heard a lot. I done heard a lot of people say that though.
Yeah, Abdullah Mason, man,
A lot
he's
of
the
people
problem.
they put his skill set up there with Shakur's. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, Abdullah Mason can fight, man.
Hey Ortiz,
Real good
Yeah.
prospect on the move,
hey,
man.
do you have content on your YouTube channel, or you just
No,
like
I don't got. So between us, I'm a consultant behind the scenes. So I deal with a lot of work with Jordan Brand, Nike. So I'll be around sports, basketball, boxing, football. Boxing is just because I grew up doing it as a kid. Like I always loved it. That's the only reason with boxing. But yeah, so I'm not really like a YouTuber or anything. I just look out like Jamil is my guy. So when he first started doing YSM, I just like one thing I am is like I support black. So that's how me and Jamil started getting real close. And then even before boxing, people don't know that YSM, he played basketball. So he come from the basketball scene originally.
yeah, okay.
So that's my background. So when you see like a little while ago with like Jaron Ennis got Jordan Brand stuff and all that, that was through me.
Hey man, shout out to you, man. I fuck with
Keep doing
YSM.
what you do, brother.
You said what?
Keep doing what you do.
I appreciate you for sure. So yeah, that's my background. So I don't got like no YouTube and all that. People be saying I should make one though. I be thinking about it because one thing I do is like say like your platform right now, like if it's a black to be like a black platform, and I look at stuff, I look stuff up, and I'll go in and support it. Maybe listen to people chime in, stuff like that.
Hey man,
So that's why I was like WCS because it's funny. I've been had Jahad what's his name, Jahad Tucker. We've been exchanged numbers a while ago to work with Bozy. I got busy and stuff like that, and then I seen on the like Boxing Voice, he put in Boxing Voice like to cut up and edit shit like that to make it
I
seem
mean, he
like
just sells discrepancies. He couldn't get no work with y'all.
And then I remember I texted him, and his dad was like, "Yo, I can get intimidated. I'll call Bozy," and then I made it happen from there. Then after that, I'm just looking up stuff. I randomly type in Jaron Ennis on YouTube, and you come up, and then I'm just listening and stuff like that. So that's how I be just, I just a support type person.
Yeah, it ain't personal. I just think his resume is mediocre. That's all. I don't have no reason to be personal with the dude. He a good dude, man. Him and his pops. But as far as boxing, he's subject to criticism, and that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying?
It's just
Like,
on the end. I'm gonna say it like Breadman says it best, right? When you so coming up, even with you see it with Shakur a little bit when it comes to other champions and all that, like when your opportunity is there and when you're so talented, people going to criticize your resume because people ain't going to want to fight you. If you had vulnerability and they seen stuff, that's where it'll be easier to fight. Right now, Boots, they don't look at it as vulnerable, so they ain't going to try to go. They ain't stepping in the ring. And then there's times when literally it'd be 5 fighters who back out. Like, no, I ain't going to fight them. And then they have to fight a 5th fighter that no name. So they got to fight. You got to keep active.
so if he can't find nobody 47 that's considered to be quality, why don't he, do something Tank did and plenty other people like Jess Van Rodriguez, Mikey Garcia, move up to 54, take a fight, get a title in another division.
Is different because you at least want to get a couple defenses of 1 or 2 fights, and then you could think about that. Like tanking them, they ain't just won the title. Then I'm automatically right up.
I
the
mean,
next.
at 40, he won the Reggie and then dropped it and came back to 35.
He just did it to say he did that, but Boots ain't like Boots right now. Think about Mikey Garcia was in his middle career, so he was able at his career to pick what fights. Mikey Garcia was an A-side brand at that time, so he was able to jump up 35, 40. Oh, I want to go to 47, stuff like that. Boots ain't there yet. Let him fight 1 or 2 times at 147, then you could probably be like, all right, it makes sense for me to go up to 154 or something like that. If he had it his
with his
way,
title, 1 or 2 times with his title.
1-2 fight defense, or he try to get another title with unify with Stanley Onis or something like that. Then you can
Okay.
go up to 154. And you gotta think about it. People say Boots is a big 147, which I get it, but he makes 147 easy. And in the amateurs, he fought at 141.
Yeah, it's just interesting how long he gonna stay at 147. Depending on what Crawford does, what's his next fight, all that. You know what I'm saying? Because if Crawford comes off those belts, Boots gonna have to stay down there a good length of time if he chooses to fight for undisputed. Try to collect all the other three belts, and that's gonna take at least 2 years. He's still young. You know what I'm saying? He'll be no more than 28 years old.
So it just depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on how it's pushed of a brand. It depends on a lot. It depends on the situation. But right now he's making it comfortable. So have him fight, try to get at least a unification or defend it a couple times against quality opponents, then move up. But
I just
Let
I
me ask you
partially
this
disagree.
question.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me ask you this question. So if we can't get the Crawford and Boots fight, at 147 per se. From the other welterweights that you've seen compete thus far as their performance, who you think will be a great dancing partner?
right now, that will make the most sense for him will be between Barrios or Stanionis.
No, I'm not saying make the most sense. I'm talking about performance wise, like because I mean, but okay, we seen Barrios. He got the win against Ugas. Like I said, I mean, Conor Ben, he was saying that he wanted to fight Ennis at 147 pounds. Conor Ben, Conor Ben, he didn't look all that tonight. You feel what I'm saying? Like performance wise, he didn't really like hit that mark. You feel what I'm saying? It was a lot going on after the at the post fight press conference, but in the ring, it wasn't really too much going on. I think Giovanni Santillan, he had a great performance against Alexis Rocha, stopping him. Like that was the firefight. And he ended up getting Alexis Rocha out of there.
Do you, you talk about just matchup who will give good work?
Yeah, like a fight that like outside of him fighting Crawford, a fight that would like no be a fight where he go in there and show another dynamic of his skill set, so to speak.
Like to be honest with you, besides Crawford right now, I think he wipes everybody else at 147.
What about Blair the Flair?
Blair the Flair, that's my guy, but Boots
I
will hurt
mean, he the
Blair.
one that was walking up on Boots and all that, and Blair
Hey, Blair
I'm
said he
just
wanted
saying.
that smoke.
But that's where it goes into like right now. If Boots was to fight Blair, if they ain't trying to give him credit against lip and that, so this and that, he goes and wipe Blair, and especially Blair being off a layoff. If Blair now,
He
if
got
Blair would
Hooker
have
on
beat
his
Alexis
resume.
Rocha,
Yeah.
if Blair would have beat Alexis Rocha, now you would have seen some momentum. You can get credit for that fight. But right now, if he fought Blair, he wouldn't get credit.
I mean, maybe he can go back to a rematch because both of them have suffered knockout losses. One just suffered, earlier than the next. You know what I'm saying? So him and Rocha both, suffered knockout losses. They can go back for a rematch or
Like
whatever the case. But a
third,
knockout don't end or consummate a fighter's career. They can just get back. Why not fight Blair? He fought Maurice Hooker. He did decent. You know what I'm saying?
no,
He been out the ring for a while though.
He
he
been
ain't.
wanting he been wanting that Boots fight, but
But he has. That's exactly. He hasn't been in a ring in a while, and he won't get like the only fights that Boots will get potential credit for that's outside of Crawford would be Stanionis and Barrios right now. Only Barrios because he beat you guys the way he did.
I think Giovanni
I
Santillan would be a good fight because if Crawford let the belts go, he number one in the WBO. So more than likely
Maybe
they'll probably have him fight somebody for the vacant
maybe
title. And then, like I said, I believe him and Boots got the same record. I believe they both they like 31-0, 31-0, 32-0, or something like that.
Serious. Who else? Maybe Cody Crowley. Even like for example, against Villa, people ain't to me. Villa's actually a tough fighter, and he's tougher
Yeah,
than what
I
I
mean,
thought.
I mean, if stylistically you know what I'm saying, like you want to stand there. I mean, that was tailor made style for Boots to beat up on him because he was just right there in front of him in the high guard.
But what I'm saying is most of these fighters at 147, I don't think Boots got to go into a whole different level. Is going to be the same type shit. Same thing with Stanionis. He's right there in front of you.
I bet Villa ain't as tough as he used to be. He took damage from Rashidi Ellis and he took damage from Boots. I mean, that's a style he got away with because no one made him pay like
To
that.
me, people look at me crazy if you had to compare um Villa. I think he was like his style. He's a more skilled version of Margarito. Them rough fighters that they get hit a lot. To me, he moved his head more a little bit than Margarito.
We talking about the margarita with or without the plaster of Paris.
Even we talking about his style with the what you call it, they take a lot. They could take punches and all that shit. He took a punishment. That's why I wanted to see how Villa. I want to see how Villa is after the Boots. Maybe this
Yeah,
long layoff would do him good. He probably needed to heal his body. But
he definitely got to heal his body. He's suspended right now, definitely because he got knocked out.
Yeah,
but
Villa took a lot of punishment. They probably should have
but
called
against
that fight
Rashidi
and let that
Ellis,
wobble.
Rashidi Ellis ain't like he really took punishment because Rashidi Ellis was tapping, moving, tapping, moving, tapping, moving. Then he would start walking them down.
Yeah, I kind of feel Villa got gas though. I feel like they robbed Rashidi. Like that should at least been a draw, but you
No,
know
I agree. I had it a draw. What messed it up?
that's my opinion. Because Rashidi basically won. He won like 9 rounds. I gave him 9 rounds before he started getting touched. And
Because
he
there's a
gassed
couple that
out.
could have been swing, but what hurt Rashidi Ellis was getting dropped.
Yeah, dropped twice.
Yeah,
That's what killed him.
that's what hurt Rashidi Ellis. And some people like that, like when it comes to people don't understand when it comes to boxers who's that strong on momentum forward, what Rashidi Ellis did, which is kind of his weakness. You can't keep on moving. Sometimes you gotta back them guys up because a lot of them type of guys can't fight going off the back foot. To me, that's when Rashidi Ellis did wrong. Was you need to go in spurts where you show them angles, backing them up. You can't keep on you know, punching and moving because all they gonna do is wear you down.
Well, fellas, I gotta get up out of here.
Yeah,
Appreciate y'all pulling up. You know what I'm saying? It was
yeah.
very,
I
very
was just about to say
productive.
the same thing. Hey, it was nice talking to y'all, and hey, good to meet you, Ortiz.
No, for sure. Keep
Yeah,
in
for
touch,
sure, man.
Lingo.
Appreciate you pulling up,
Oh
Ortiz.
Hey,
yeah,
for
yeah.
You
I'm
know what
sure.
I'm
gonna
saying?
look for you.
I'm still gonna put that hot grease on Boots until he fights somebody, though. I'm just letting you know.
Man, y'all gonna give him a hard time because y'all might, even if he fights Stanionis or Barrios, y'all gonna be
If
like,
he
oh,
looks
he ain't
good
fighting.
against Stantionis, I'm gonna give him his credit. I'm not a hater. I'm not a Boots hater. I just don't think he beat Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a hater though. You know what I'm saying? I have no reason to hate. I can goddamn criticize a fighter straight up and down about they boxing shit and be in favor of my fighter, just like you in favor of the Philly fighters. You know what I'm saying? But my criticism ain't personal, dog. I just don't think he can beat Crawford at
You
all.
say Phil? I think Boots will beat Crawford just style wise. I'm not afraid of Philly fighters because that's like me saying Blair would beat Crawford. No,
Style wise, I just hope you're around because I think he stops Boots in quicker fashion than Spence, man.
you got some other because people look at me crazy. I was like, if that Spence was in with Boots, Boots would have got him out of there in 4.
Yeah. Boost got a lot of. It's a lot of holes in this game. Like you feel what I'm saying.
I
I'm
want
not.
to hear these
I'm
holes
not gonna expose everything, but
because if
like
Boots got a lot of holes, that means Crawford got a lot of holes.
nah, I don't
Nah,
see when
you can't compare
I
them.
don't think they're the same fighter though. To be truthful
They,
with you,
they they ain't the same fighter, bro. Just because switch hit and Crawford didn't even switch
yeah,
hit
Carlos
against
Adamos
Errol
he can
Spence,
switch
man.
it, so
I
I don't really
I
think they're the same
no,
fighter.
I
Like
agree because to me, I tell people when Crawford is better at the southpaw than orthodox. When he at the southpaw, he going for kill. Boots, it's hard to even tell what he's better at.
I just know when I seen him fight against Korean Chudikin and there was another fight, he just didn't seem like he make adjustments well to me. You know what I'm saying? He just don't make adjustments well. Like to make it look easy. To just make it look like they don't supposed to be in there. Crawford does. Crawford can make adjustments and he just make them look like they don't supposed to be in there.
I mean, his best fight was Spence. Everybody else, I seen Crawford lose plenty of rounds.
Man, come on, dog. His
No, it's
best
just
fight was Spence.
I look at Boots' last fight. And
He the first
I'm
person
looking
to
at
stop Sean Porter, but his best fight was Spence, though.
yeah, but Sean Porter also a lot of
Was
people will argue that he was up that fight,
he was what?
that he was winning that fight.
No, he wasn't winning. It was a good fight.
Bro,
He wasn't winning.
the scorecards came out. He wasn't up in that fight, bro.
No, but I said a lot of people debate that
Oh,
he was
okay.
up.
But you gotta think about it. A lot of those people that was saying that was the Spence fans. A lot of them was the Spence fans because they didn't want that fight.
To me, it was a good fight. You could have to me, Bud started picking up the last 2 rounds, but he was losing rounds, especially the first 4.
But he was never losing the fight, though.
He was he turned it up when somebody yelled at him that they said that he was down because
I mean, I think
he was taking it easy on
Yeah, that was his
It was
friend. He was
that was
to
his
taking
me,
friend.
it
he
He
was
was
being
taking it.
aggressive. I wouldn't say taking it easy because Sean Porter, that's again, he has footwork. It was just an awkward style. What he did was turn it up and got way more aggressive instead of sitting there
Yeah,
trying to get in the box.
he
Yeah,
turned up because
he was slowly taking the fight out of Sean Porter. Them body shots he was hitting
Yeah.
Sean Porter with. Sean Porter was like, you could look at his face like, God damn, like I got it. Like he just started countering him, but Sean Porter, the fighter that he is, all he knows is forward, going, forward progress. So it's like
Like even
Bud was
he
cool.
held on
like there's
until
a
he
couple
couldn't.
people. Even Thomas Delorme was taking rounds from Bud Rock.
Yeah, because Bud was cool with going the distance with Porter until they yelled out he was down.
You know, if anything you should take from WCS, the Ortiz back to Philly is that y'all should truly find get a gauge on how strong Crawford is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people underestimate how strong he is.
That dude is
He's
dude is
very
stock
strong,
strong.
but people underestimate how strong Boots is too.
Boots won't beat Crawford in wrestling or anything else, man.
It's
Wrestling,
leverage.
I'm talking about just
Yeah,
pure strength.
the thing that y'all not
To me,
understanding is
Boots is
like
more faster and explosive than Crawford.
if Boots and Crawford fight, I'm pretty sure after maybe the first or second round, it's not gonna be a boxing match anymore. Because I hear stories. You hear legendary stories about people sparring and stuff. I heard about the Boots sparring 20 some rounds with no water and all that stuff. All that stuff is great for in the gym stuff. But then when those bright lights is on and you got a sold out house and the gate did what it's supposed to do, you feel what I'm saying? A
I'm
guy
gonna
like
give you.
Crawford, you might have to fight him off of you. I haven't
I,
seen Boots in a fight like that.
I'll give you a cheat code. Right when I was explaining before, that dude loved the box. He's when people be like, "Oh yeah, Crawford got more pro experience," but that kid came in diapers boxing. It's like a Floyd Mayweather. They came from a boxing family. That kid, he's the most comfortable in the ring. Anything outside the ring is weird. If you want to put him in a space, it's in the ring. He loves to be in the ring. That's why I said I'm not worried about anything in the ring. In the ring, I'm confident with him with anybody.
You gonna bet on the fight if it happens?
Yes, that's why I said I hope on the
Okay,
odds.
stay
To me, if I
close.
predict,
Stay
I'm
close.
going right to the casinos, and I'm betting.
Oh, okay. You betting in the casinos. I feel you.
Yeah,
You know
because
you
I
get your
hope
money in the casinos and not this YTC bullshit. They don't pay on the YTC. I'll
They
tell you
sure
that.
don't.
Yeah, because I'm hoping. Yeah, because I'm hoping. What I'm hoping is them odds going to Crawford's favor and I come up. This a couple times I came up off of boxing with that.
You ain't gonna come up off that fight, man. You're gonna be
Trust
just
me.
another fan who lost mad money, betting against Crawford, man. I'm
Nah,
telling you.
not a fan. 'Cause the one that lost the most money was Adrian Broner. The one be looking like Adrian after the fight.
But them
Try-
Crawford fans, I mean, them
And
Spence fans, they
even
lost a
Spence
lot of
fans
money,
looking at
man.
me crazy when I've been telling people that Boots will stop Spence. People be looking at, oh no. I was like, bro, I know what I'm talking about.
I think right now Boots will stop Spence.
Even when Spence was when I knew what was going on.
If you would have got the Spence that fought Sean Porter, I don't
He
see,
would beat the shit out of
I don't
Spence.
see Boots stopping him, bro. Nah, I don't see Spence being
he
stopped by Boots,
he
bro.
would get hit too much. And Spence ain't gonna be able to take that many of Boots' punches.
I mean, that's what they said about a lot of fights Spence was in coming up through the ranks. That he's a come forward fighter, pressure,
I
and
know
he's
he
linear,
got good.
and he don't move his fucking head.
The same thing I say with Crawford. What I'm going to say with Spence, Boots is different from anybody they fought.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all get boost that speed advantage, man. Like, but timing beats everything,
Timing
man.
beats power, right?
That,
The green.
yeah,
Shit.
it does, and that that punch behind the ear, that temple shot, that boost like to throw after he throw that triple up and down jab pattern when he get in the ring. Crawford he been punching at the temples, man. So they gonna be ready for it, man. Trust me, y'all gonna
And
y'all
Boots
gonna
is
have y'all
very
gonna have to watch
accurate with
tape.
every punch.
Y'all gonna have to watch game
But
tape
see,
this
but,
one.
but see, Ortiz, that's what you Green make a good point. Y'all, we just talking about Crawford Boots, but I don't see Bozy out coaching Bomac any day of the week, any minute of
I
the
see,
day.
I see it. I see it every day because Bozy
He ain't
actually
out
breaks
coaching
down the
Bomac.
technician.
He ain't out coaching Bomac, dog. Bomac, that's I don't see it, bro.
He
I
gonna
don't see it.
outcoach. He gonna outcoach Bomac.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bomac is
we gotta get this fight then, man. You feel what I'm saying? We got the money gotta be there though. Like I want to see it. Yeah, I mean, because
Hey,
I
I'm about to get
Ortiz,
up out of here, y'all.
definitely want to
Nice
see him
talking to y'all.
active.
Peace out.
yeah, I'm about to
All right,
bounce too,
expert.
man. Y'all hold it down, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up, and engaging in the topic for sure. You know what I'm saying? One love to y'all, man.
All right,
uh,
WC.
All right, peace, man. I'm out. I want to give a big shout out to those that was in the chat, man. Salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that pulled up. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A Side official, man. Salute, peace, and we'll do